Welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. This podcast is the full show from today's episode of Undisputed from start to finish. We've got a busy slate, so skip Shannon. Let's get to it. Welcome to Undisputed. We are live from Los Angeles. I'm Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharpe. Good morning, guys.
Wow. Yeah. If I had confetti, I would dump it all over Shannon Sharpe. If I had Gatorade, I would give him a Gatorade bath right now. You finally won a bet. It took 6 months and you won a bet.
The only baths I take is with dew.
Really?
Dew, that's the only thing I take a bath
Really?
in. Yep.
By the way, it's official. LeBron's out now. So you lost the free throw bet, the 80%. That's official now. He did not shoot. He shot 66.5%. You bet 80, so you lose another case on that. Counteracting.
No, we had more than one case bet on
we had two.
Yes.
Okay.
But hold on, Skip. Why you keep on changing the subject? We gonna do LeBron. Let me have a moment.
I'm letting you have your moment.
You don't give me my moment.
This is it.
No,
you did it.
No. I did what?
Thanks,
Say
Coach K.
Whoa! Don't do that, Skip. Don't do that. That's a great man.
Yeah.
You got to let him celebrate once in a while,
great
Skip.
for you.
Doesn't happen too often around here. We have a lot to get to on today's show. We will talk about LeBron. Why is he shutting it down? And then, why are the Eagles talking trash? But we got to start with yesterday's thriller. Duke came into the tournament as a huge favorite, but now they're heading home. After the Spartans took the lead on a three-pointer, R.J. Barrett was fouled with 6 seconds left. He missed the first free throw, then accidentally made the second. Michigan State was able to run out the clock for the 68-67 win. Zion Williamson finished with 24 points and 14 rebounds. So, Shannon, did Michigan State show they were the better team yesterday?
Yes, Jenny, you said something very interesting, the better team, and they are the better team. Duke has the two best players in Zion Williamson and R.J. Barrett. But if you look at Duke's core and you look at Michigan State's core, Skip, Michigan State's go at starting five: junior, freshman, senior, sophomore, redshirt senior. Duke goes 4 freshmen and a junior. Yeah, I got that right. Yeah, 4 freshmen and a junior. So you see, Skip, and these guys, Duke, Skip, when they were in high school, they could take over the ball game, the state championship game, state playoffs. One guy could do it all, and they could win. But when you get in this game and the talent level raises just a tad, now all of a sudden you need to rely more on a team. And because Michigan State had played together for some years, with the exception of the freshman, Skip, they had been in these battles, and they were able to withstand. Because I thought the game was getting out of hand. Even in the first half, I was like 32. I was like, come on, Michigan State. And the next thing you know, Skip, they go on a 13-0 run, and they close the half. It's 34-30. And then in the second half, every run that Duke made, Michigan State was able to withstand it and make a run of the encounter with their own run. So when I look at it like that, Skip, yes, they had the better team. And that's why they won. It's as simple as that. Zion was unbelievable again. 24 and 14. He had 7 offensive rebounds. I've never seen anybody leap at his size that can leap as quick. Skip, how does he shoot the ball. He goes up and get a rebound before the guy realized he had missed the shot. He's already back up again with the ball in his hands. He's unbelievable in that aspect. But I told you what was going to be their undoing. Again. What they do, Skip, from the three-point line? What they do from outside, Skip?
They shot the three pretty well yesterday.
Oh, 7 of 21 is pretty well, huh?
No, it was pretty good.
That's pretty good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Zion was pretty good.
No, I ain't talking about Zion. Hold on. I said Zion and R.J. Barrett are the best two players on the court.
Yeah.
But that's not the team. That wasn't playing 2-on-2. This ain't no hard top ball, 2-on-2.
They shot it from 3 better than Michigan State did.
Whoa. Hold on, time out. All I'm saying is the better team won. I know you're a little disappointed. You had your little do on it. I told you what was going to happen. I should have got me 2 more cases. Because at first, if I'd have had the courage of my conviction.
You are the worst front runner in history.
No.
You have gotten your tail handed to you for 2.5 years. And now you're gloating like you told me so?
No. I could have had 2 more cases.
I missed that.
You asked me. Okay. No, you did. I said, Skip, they're not going to even make the Final Four. You're like, have 2 more cases right now. I want that.
I got the courage of my conviction.
I didn't have the courage.
Yeah.
But I sit here today with courage, chest out.
I know, boy.
Michigan State did it.
Tell me when it's my
turn. It's your turn. Go ahead.
All right.
Thank you. It is laughable to say that Michigan State had a better team than Duke.
They did.
It is laughable because 3 of the top 5 players that will be taken in this next NBA draft were on the floor for the Duke Blue Devils yesterday. Probably 1, 2, and 5 in that order: Zion, RJ, and Cam.
Did Cam Reddish play like the 3rd best college basketball player all year?
I'm going to save that for a couple of minutes because I got a whole lot to say about his very mysterious quote-unquote knee injury, and I want to know the truth because college basketball keeps getting away with letting all this go under the radar. They're not held to the same standards because they're amateur, they're student athletes. Right. People bet just as much money on college basketball as on pro basketball.
Especially this.
Right? Maybe more on this.
Yes.
So I would like full disclosure of what is going on with injuries, but I'm going to save that for just a second because I got to finish on this.
Okay.
You realize that Michigan State has no players in any mock draft I can find in the first 2 rounds, including Cassius Winston, who was tremendous as a college basketball point guard, but I'm not sure he will get drafted. Maybe his stock will rise enough to get him somewhere in the 2nd round, but remember, he's a junior. It's highly possible he will come back for his senior year to play for Coach Izzo. Right. Speaking of Coach Izzo, for sure, Michigan State had by far the better coach yesterday because I'm not sure what Coach K did. It was shameful how Mike Krzyzewski, giving his reputed greatness, sat and watched his offense go up in smoke yesterday. Coach K stood for strikeout. K is in strikeout yesterday because I don't know what Duke's offense was. He had the best player on the floor. He had the best player in college basketball. He had the player of the year, the ACC player of the year, arguably the most dominating college basketball player since, I don't know, I got to go back to Danny Manning in 1988. I might ought to go back to Patrick Ewing, Samson Olajuwon, maybe back to Bird and Magic. I'm not sure. He had that guy on his team. Right. And yet, did they get the ball to Zion? No. Did they run any plays for Zion? I didn't see it. They kept getting away with it. The reason the other games were so close, the Virginia Techs, back to the UCF's games, the reason they were so close is because Zion scored his points by accident. Did you see them set picks for Zion? Low post picks, high post picks, any picks? No. It's my turn. It is my turn.
Let me ask you one question.
Yes.
Let me ask you one question. Have you seen them set any picks throughout the entirety of the season?
I just said that. They just didn't do it by accident. Well, again, if you get to this level against a veteran Michigan State team coached by a veteran coach, you better have some offense to fall back on. You better run some clear outs for Zion where you really clear the side of the floor like they do in the NBA, where 4 guys go and stand by the out of bounds so that you are completely clear. And if you get 1-on-2 or 1-on-3, Zion can really pass it. He was a high school point guard. And if you get spot up shooters over there, even, Trey Jones, he made his shots against Virginia Tech, right?
And that saved him.
Okay, all right. So my point is, you have to run some action, some semblance of motion in your offense to get that man the basketball. Did they get him the basketball when it mattered most down the stretch? No, they did not. Remember, this is the most lethal weapon we've seen. Really, if you want to just do statistics, you know what it was? It was the most lethal weapon we've seen on a college basketball floor since a kid named Lou Alcindor for UCLA. And you know why that is? I can just do it statistically. If you look at players playing in their first NCAA, because remember, Lou Alcindor he couldn't play until he was a sophomore. Okay. Correct. His first NCAA tournament, he played only 4 games. So if you look at players who played 4 or fewer games, Zion scored 104 points in this NCAA tournament in 4 games. Yeah. Lou Alcindor, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, scored 106 in 4 games. That's how far you have to go back to find a freshman or a first-year player who scored more points than Zion did, okay? So that's the guy who was scoring mostly by accident. So what happened down the stretch? Well, we saw Gonzaga at Maui and that Maui Invitational all over again because Zion touched the ball for the last time at 1:41 left. He goes up and under like 1-on-3s, dipsy-do off the glass, and the game at that point, that put Duke up 3. Last time he touched the ball. Down the stretch, R.J. Barrett, the ball hog, He misses a jump shot, then he missed a 3, then he drove 1-on-3, which is just an idiotic play. But he got fouled, and he got to the free throw line. And
you actually thought he was going to make both of those?
I did not. I thought there was no way he was going to make them. I thought he might make the first one and miss the second one, and he clanked the first one off the back iron. And then he was so unclutched that he tried to miss the second one and made it. That's him. That's R.J. Barrett. Remember, I brought this up 5 times on the show. At Maui against Gonzaga, a really good basketball team that got upset the other day by Texas Tech. But Gonzaga at Maui, down the stretch, Zion scored with 1:41 left to tie that game and did not touch the basketball for the last 1:41 because R.J. Barrett shot it 5 times and missed all 5, and they lost to Gonzaga.
Yeah.
It smacked of that all over again because Coach K, if you're that guy that everybody says he is, you have to get Zion Williamson the one touch, just one touch in the last 141.
Well, this is where I'm going to give you credit for saying that he was out-coached by Coach Izzo. Because the problem is, Skip, in those situations when all the guys are healthy, Zion Williams, and I'm not talking about the Carolina game because he left with 20 seconds into the ball game. They're 0-12 in the final seconds of a shot. 0-12. R.J. Barrett has taken 9 of those shots. 9. I fault Coach K for continuously putting the ball in his hands.
Why do you do that? Look, Zion is unselfish to a fault.
Yes.
Sure.
But he has shown you again and again in crucial moments he has the takeover gene. If you'll give him the ball and give him the green light, he will make something happen with the ball.
But see, the problem is, Skip, if you give him the ball, and we're going to talk about what Gilbert Arenas had to say about him. What does he do? He's not going to pull up. He's got to get all the way to the basket. So we build a wall to keep him from getting to the basket. Then what does he do?
Okay. Well, you have to help him a little bit by let him flash off a pick down low. There are 1,000 ways to get him the ball in an advantageous position because he can make his advantage most of the time. But if you give him a little bit of help where he's not 1-on-3, but what did they do? I had to sit. It was so hard on my eyes to watch this whole game because on one end, I'm watching Michigan State. They run constant motion.
Yes.
They're disciplined. They're extremely well taught. They flash off pick after pick after pick after pick. That they're always getting somebody free to the basket.
Sure.
And I'm not saying that Zion and RJ played much defense because they don't play a lot of great defense. They mostly just stand and watch.
Yes, Zion's tremendous at help defense because you'll come from the weak side.
And he will block it. But after I watched all that hard picking, hard cutting by Michigan State, then I have to watch at the other end. It reminded me of Belichick's playoff defense for the Patriots where they just did the mush rush, where they're just all kind of standing around at the snap. Yeah. That looked like Duke's offense yesterday where they all just stood around in the lane like, well, I don't know what we're going to do while Trey Jones just dribbled out front. There's no action to it. There's no movement. There's no constant flow. There's no motion. And that's what in the end, Coach K was the defensive MVP for Michigan State yesterday because he put no pressure on Michigan State's defense.
But we had talked about this, Skip. Duke was on borrowed time. They really should have lost to UCF.
Well, you can go back.
North Carolina.
They should have lost in the ACC, right? Okay, it just kept going down to the wire, down to the wire. Yeah. And who kept saving them? Zion. And
they built the wall. And maybe this is by design. I know it's by design. Somehow they screen, they pick so R.J. Barrett can come get the ball. Teams do not have a problem with that. They're saying, we don't care. The big guy can't beat us. R.J. Skip, he's 0 for 9. I mean, I don't know how many more opportunities you want to get. That's like Tom Brady. Tom Brady might go to a guy in a game, Skip. He might go to a guy drop a pass. Yep. He'll go back to him. But if you drop 4 or 5 game-winning drives, I can assure you there won't be a game 5 winning drive that he throws you the ball. And that's what's happening with them. They're so talented, Skip. You don't have to run offense. Coach Izzo realized, I don't have a Zion. I don't have a R.J. Barrett. So I'm going to have to find ways to get guys open as opposed to just using athleticism.
That is correct.
It's not as easy as one thing because Carmelo did it as a true freshman, lead a team. It doesn't happen very often. Magic Johnson was a sophomore. Anthony Davis led a team, a talented team. But more times than not, Skip, if you run up against a team that has veteran-laden players, a la Kentucky when they were undefeated, got a hold of Wisconsin. And we saw what happened.
That's true.
Duke did win it when they had the Justice Winslow situation. Skip, they had those had the freshmen. But more times than not, if you get in a close ball game, if you can keep these guys close, just don't let them go run and hide. And then it gets down to the last 4 minutes, the last 2 minutes of the ball game. You normally, if you're a veteran ball club, you can find a way to win it.
How did they burst out to that, what was it, 9-point lead? Didn't it get to 30-21?
30-21, correct.
How did they do that? Run and dunk, right?
Yep.
Just get in the open floor. Sometimes they would pull up and shoot threes. Cam Reddish made a three, RJ made a three, and there's a whole lot of Zion just taking it up the floor,
correct.
Right?
Yes.
Once you slow the game down and get them back into a half court, they are hapless, they are clueless. They wind up at the end of the clock with either RJ or Zion with the ball out on the wing, like, I guess I got to go now.
Right.
I guess I got to try to beat these two guys or these three guys. And even Zion's three-point shots he's just standing out there like, well, maybe I should just shoot this now because this is all the offense we got.
And 7 turnovers for RJ. 5 turnovers.
Hey, why did that happen? Why did that happen? Because you have no clue on offense. You're trying to force passes to Zion, who's covered, and you don't have great lob passers anyway, unless it's Trey, but it was often RJ, which is why he had 7, and sometimes the ball would hit Zion in the hands, and then he would get a turnover.
Right, so
he would he'd try to get the ball up to 3 guys, and he would lose the basketball. Okay. Is that good offense?
No.
Is that great coaching?
Those 2 guys had 12 of the 17 total turnovers.
Yeah.
That's not good. Skip, the thing is, look, when you look at Duke, yes, they're immensely talented. And, Coach, it's not easy. It's because I guess we run into this with the Olympics because the Americans have such a talented team. What do you really run? What sets do you really run, Skip, when you're so much more talented than, say, the Argentines or the Spaniards or those teams that you're going up against? And that's what Coach K is up against. His team is so much more talented than anybody they face. And when you can just do like you said, they get out and run, they dunk, and they shoot the 3 uncontested shots, they're great. But now we get you into a half-court set where now you have to think. Now you have to set picks. You have to pin down. You have to run flare. Do all of that. They're like, okay, well, you take it. No, you take it. Yeah, and they just pass the ball, and the next thing you know, Skip, they're trying to force up a shot with 3-4 seconds on the clock.
Okay. So the way you won your 2 cases of Dew came down to pure vintage March Madness because the one guy on the floor who didn't really belong on the floor, he's a redshirt senior. Kenny Goins, right?
Yeah, that's my guy.
He gets the ball, and it's not even a play that was supposed to be run for him. And I think Cassius Winston was not happy with the play, but he said, well, I couldn't hold it against him because he shot it right as soon as it left his hand.
It looked good, didn't it?
It did. It had great backward rotation on it, and he got good arc on it, and it just had written all over it, March Madness.
Yep.
Those are the shots that win March Madness. And I love what Zion said after the Friday night game. I can't remember who was interviewing him on the floor, but said, how do you describe what just happened? And he said, well, it's right there on your mic, March Madness. He said, and that's it. That's what it is. It's March. It's pure vintage madness.
Sometimes, Skip, guys.
And by the way, Goins at that point had made 1 of 7 threes. So 2 for 8, just won them a Final Four berth.
Well, all the Michigan State players, it's on me. I told them from 9 to the end of time, if I see you guys out, it's on me.
I saw that video.
Oh, yeah, he followed me. Oh, yeah, he hit me up and said, hey, I'm going to have to take you up on that.
Ready.
Yeah, it's on me, Skip. Wagyu A5, that's on me. Lobster, 3-4 pounds at $50, $75 a pound, that's on me. All the ginger ale they want.
Yeah.
But you know what, Skip? Sometimes March Madness is about pressure, too, because you saw the guy from Virginia Tech on a 2-foot shot. He shot it 1 foot. Kenny Goins, the flip side. He comes off, as you mentioned, maybe it wasn't for him, but he shot that ball like, hey, I've been waiting for this moment my whole life. This is my time. And he pulled up, and he was no hesitation. You know, sometimes guys get it. Should I? He came off that pick and let it rip. I said, ooh, this thing is pure. I said, it looked good to me.
So what was not pure to me was whatever happened to Cam Reddish, because I would like to know the truth of this, because right before the Virginia Tech game, out of the blue, out of left field, somehow he says he can't go. And Coach K said after that game, I had no idea. We'd practiced with our starting 5 all week to get ready for this. And right before tip-off, for some reason, Cam Reddish says, I can't go. And then he can't go the whole game. A very close game that Duke was fortunate to win. Really? And then it's announced right before yesterday's game that he's suited up, but he won't start, and it's kind of iffy whether he's going to play. And what happened 3 minutes into the game? He went in. And then how much did he come out of that game? How about none? He played 37 straight minutes all the way home. Can you please explain what is going on there? Because I think the gamblers would like to know what was going on with Cam Reddish.
Right.
Was it some kind of off-the-court issue that he was having? Was he being disciplined by Coach K and they didn't let on to this? I have no idea.
Especially, Skip, for you to miss the entire one game because of the knee, but then you turn around and come back and play 37 minutes of the subsequent game.
Don't start?
Yeah,
why wouldn't you start? But if you're going to suck it up and play, if you're really hurt, and then he came in and I thought he was a little slow and tentative for a while, but then after a while I'm thinking, I don't see any knee issue going on with him.
But even that, Skip, even though we don't know the circumstances of the last two games, tell me that Cam Reddish has played like the third most sought after high school player coming into college. He has underperformed, if you ask me.
Okay, but he is by far the third wheel on this team.
Yes, absolutely, yes.
In flashes, I see the most natural of all three basketball players.
Natural shooter of the basketball.
Just pure natural.
Yes.
I saw it at Florida State when he made the clutch game winner, right?
Right.
And there are a couple of times yesterday where he just caught it and shot it without even thinking about it and ripped it. And is that the guy? Or I don't know. I would have a hard time if I'm trying to evaluate who is he, what is he, if I have the 5th overall pick in the draft.
Well, I thought they were going to let Zion beat him again because they couldn't keep him off the offensive glass. But Tillman was able to match him basically board for board. And he played unbelievable. That was a foul, too, on that dunk. They didn't call it.
Which dunk?
The one he caught him slipping, and he dunked on I think it might have been Bolden.
Okay.
He might have been him that he caught.
So you're still begging for calls after you won?
I know. I want you to call it fair and square.
Oh, okay.
Skip, y'all got all that talent. You got the greatest basketball players. Now, all I know, this is what I do know. A top 20 NBA player on that Duke roster gets that team to the Final Four.
Well, unless he gets coached right out of the game. And now I can say about Zion what I used to say about Michael Jordan when he was at Carolina. Only one man can stop Michael Jordan, and that's Dean Smith, his own coach. Only one man can stop Zion, and it is his own coach, Coach K, as in strikeout. He struck out because his offense struck out.
You have the luxury of knowing.
That was embarrassing.
Skip, stop. You have the luxury of knowing what Michael Jordan became. Nobody thought was going to do that at Carolina. Yes, he hit the shot as a true freshman, heard around the world in '82. But nobody thought he was going to be that skilled.
Then he stayed for 2 more years, and nobody was really talking about him like they're talking about this kid. And I'm not saying this kid is Michael Jordan. He's not.
Skip, he showed flashes. He steal the ball and walk through the air, and when he could, lean into the side, he could do all that. But nobody thought he would turn into the overall player that he became once he got to the NBA. But the difference is, in college, they can zone you off. In the NBA, it's more space, it's more open, so he had an opportunity to fly.
It is easier to pack it in college.
and that's what Michigan State did, to a degree. I would have walled it off even more against Zion. He still got up 19 shots, but let that sink in, Skip. He got up 19 shots. Probably 15 of them was in the paint.
Okay. So glance at your stats
there
and show me all the shooting stats. Who's ahead in all the shooting stats? What's it look like to you?
You guys might have did a little something.
I think we did a little something in all the shooting categories. There's only one stat you're going to find on there that told the tale. And it's called turnovers, and it was 21-7, right?
Yep.
21-7, is that what it was?
There's 17.
No,
17-7.
17-7.
Yeah.
17-7.
There's a big difference.
Really?
Yeah, we take care of the ball.
Okay.
Yeah, Michigan State.
You do. And by the way, your point guard had 1 turnover, and he had a hellacious on-ball defender on him the whole game, and he managed to have 1 turnover.
And put a 20-10 spot on him.
He's good. He is sneaky, shifty in the lane.
Yeah.
Get in the lane.
That's what we do, Skip.
Yeah.
Y'all got all that talent. Y'all got Zion.
I'm not a y'all. I went to Vanderbilt. I went to the Harvard of the South. It's a better school than Duke is. But yesterday, Duke had the better basketball
Duke still
team.
got their coach.
Yeah.
Where's your coach?
He's about to be hired. Well, maybe it'll be a she.
Come
you
on,
never know.
Shannon.
How about
Just
a she?
enjoy your dew while you can.
I Skip, I'm sorry. I really am sorry. You actually think I like gloating. You actually think I like being a sore winner.
Yeah, okay.
That's not me.
Enough gloating for right now.
My grandma didn't raise me to be like this.
I don't think you can gloat about
That's
this
exactly
next one, actually. So, did the Lakers make the right move shutting down LeBron? Yeah, Shannon, you can't gloat about that. We'll discuss next.
No mercy.
Well, the Lakers' terrible season is not officially over, but LeBron's first year in LA is. The Lakers announced this weekend that LeBron would miss the last 6 games of the season to allow his groin to fully heal. He finished the season leading the team in points, rebounds, assists, and steals, but he only played 55 games this year, which is a career low. Yesterday, Luke Walton said the decision was not LeBron's. Take a listen.
He wants to play, but it's one of those things where the medical staff has finally said, look, it's just not worth it anymore. Let's make sure you have a healthy summer. So that's the decision that was made, and we'll move forward without him on the floor for the final 6.
All right, Shannon, do you believe this was the Lakers' decision to shut down LeBron?
I do, but I believe it was a collaborative agreement to sit LeBron.
The two?
Because he made it abundantly clear when they were first officially eliminated from the playoffs about when he was broached, I think a reporter broached the subject about him sitting out the remaining of the season, Skip. He says it's going to take some convincing to get me to do this. And I think the thing for LeBron is that he had to walk a very, very fine line, Skip, because you don't want to send the message, now that we're done, I no longer want to play with you guys, even though we have nothing to play for. And long as Ingram and Kuzma were still playing, okay, that gave them something to look forward to. Because let's just say, for the sake of argument, they don't get Anthony Davis. There's pretty much, you're going to come back with these same core guys that you had last year. Okay, once Ingram goes out, Lonzo isn't coming back. Kuzma missed some time. LeBron's out there with G League guys. So it just made no sense. And now you're just putting unnecessary mileage on your body. Think about it. This year, LeBron James will play 55 games. Last year, he played 104. This year's final game was on March 29th. Last year, it was June 8th. So he went 9 more weeks. The groin is not 100%. Skip, can you imagine if the last 6 games, LeBron James steps funny and he actually ends up tearing the groin? And now people are like, well, you had nothing to play for. The only thing he was playing for, Skip, was to get 150 points closer to Kareem.
Yep.
And it just wasn't worth it. So this was very good. I'm glad LeBron relented because I know how much he wants to play. He's a basketball player. And think about it, Skip, like you keep saying next year's going to be year 17. He knows what's on the horizon. It's not year 13. It's not year 11.
Yep.
That's not on the horizon. He realizes that he has fewer opportunities to showcase what he does really, really well. He has fewer opportunities to get that chip and some more MVPs, which he's going to get in the very near future. So this was
wait, you just predicted MVPs?
Yeah, finals and regular season.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Finals and regular season.
Wishful thinking.
Finals and regular season.
Could I get some due back on that?
Oh, you don't think? Hold on. You don't think he's gonna win no MVP? No, you don't think he'll win nothing?
Nope. No more MVPs.
That's it.
Well, we put 2 on it.
We're done.
You want 2 cases?
Yep.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But with that being said,
can I do Finals MVP for 5 more cases?
Let me see what we do this summer.
Oh, okay.
Let me see what we do this summer.
How we heal up?
Yeah. No. We're gonna do something. But Skip, I do believe it was a collaborative agreement. I believe they brought it to LeBron. I don't believe LeBron took it to them. I believe they brought it to him with the medical staff, sat down with LeBron and his training staff, and said, moving forward, we believe this is in the best interest of not only the Lakers, but you as well.
I'm trying to agree with your takeaway point because we've seen quote after quote from rival executives say, hey, when you sign LeBron James, you have to give him the keys to your kingdom.
Right.
So it's hard to believe that the Lakers would just unilaterally rule, you're done.
Right.
It's just hard because he is LeBron James and he is the franchise. So you would think that he had to at least co-sign this somehow?
Yes, absolutely.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
Although there is one possibility, because we continue to hear leaks from LeBron's camp about how he was still in pain with his groin, to the point that his celebrity physical therapist we talked about 1 week ago today had posted he was in pain.
But she's really not in our camp.
Yeah.
She's just outside
Do you think she got fired over that?
No,
or
she
did
didn't
she
get fired.
plant that for? Did she do LeBron a favor?
She's very good at what she does.
Okay.
And we wouldn't want to bring any negative attention her way and say she doesn't speak for us because she's done a very good service for us.
So is it possible that LeBron and Pelinka, and especially Jeannie Buss, just got sick and tired of all the drama king drama about is he hurt or not hurt? And they finally said, you know what? That's enough of that. Let's just stop this right now, and that they decreed no more. You are not going to chase Kobe anymore this year. You're not going to chase Kareem. You have predicted he will catch and pass Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on the all-time scoring list, and he needs to score a ton of points to get there. So he needs every dribble he can get from now as he enters into his 17th season next year. And these are 5 more games, 6 counting last night, that he could have averaged his 27, 8, and 8 or whatever.
Let me ask you
right?
this. Do you actually think Rob Pelinka and Jeannie Buss can say, LeBron, you're not playing anymore this year? And LeBron says, okay. Or do you think, LeBron, let's sit down and think about this?
You would have to declare war is what you have to do.
Exactly. So that's why I know it was a collaborative agreement.
So I'm going to say this one last time. LeBron pulls his groin on December 25th. On December 26th, after he's seen the 3D picture of his groin called an MRI, he tweets, sheesh, dodged a bullet, hashtag back in no time. And silly me, I thought Iron Man will be back in, I don't know, a couple of weeks, 3 weeks maybe. What did they say? 3 to 6 weeks, right?
Yes.
And it took every bit of 6 weeks. Yeah. But there were a couple of flashpoints along that trail in which Rich Paul, his agent, went to war on the media, saying very profanely, we will come back, I'm leaving out all the words, when we feel like we're ready to come back. And yet, at that point, about 3 weeks in, the Lakers medical staff, and this smacks of what happened in San Antonio a year ago with number 2 versus the Spurs staff, but the Lakers medical staff publicly declared him fit to play, at least to practice. So I'm going to assume then you're ready to play if you can practice, right? And I don't know what happened in there, but something weird happened that we are not privy to. And it continued to happen because he continued to play without apparent limping or pain. I didn't see it. Maybe you did. I couldn't see anything.
I just didn't see the normal. Occasionally, I could see it, the explosiveness, but I didn't see it on the consistent basis that I'm used to seeing it with. And when the guy blocked his shot, I mean, because we know, come on, LeBron, that step back skip, that thing lethal. And the dude basically didn't even, he tiptoed and got palm of hand on basketball. Not fingertips, palm.
It was the all-time, his big brother, little brother stuff, right?
The man was hurt. And I keep telling you, Skip, I believe LeBron's like, dodged the bullet. He didn't want to let on that he was hurt more than he wanted you guys to know. So he's like, I'm going to be back sooner than later, knowing he's going to be on the later end of things. And this thing with the doctor says this, look, doctors have told me a lot of things. I know how I feel, Doc. I know what you're saying, and I know you went to school and you got way more knowledge than I could ever accumulate. But I'm telling you, I don't feel good. I'm telling you, I'm still in pain.
Could be. I agree.
You're right. Okay.
I don't know. When it comes to injuries, I'm out. I don't know because you don't know.
No.
You don't know.
No.
Nobody knows except that one human being how he really has felt over the last couple of months, right?
Yes.
All I know for sure is that in the games that LeBron did play this year, the team was 28-27. And I'm pretty sure Magic would tell you if he were sitting here right now, that's not what I signed up for this year, right?
No, you're supposed to be 37-17.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're paying LeBron James $36 million, and he is worth every last nickel of that, especially in marquee value, because he made them the epicenter of the universe, right? Of the NBA universe. Yet it came to this. The saddest sight, the saddest game played in the whole NBA schedule this year was last night or yesterday in New Orleans. The two teams that were at the epicenter of the trade deadline. It was Lakers versus Pelicans for AD, back and forth. That's all we talked about for, what, a month on this show?
Felt like it.
Those two teams played last night, and the Lakers won going away 130-102, but guess who didn't play? There was no Kuzma last night. There's obviously no Lonzo, no B.I., no LeBron James. There's no AD on the other side. There was no Drew Holiday on the other side. It came to that.
Yes.
After all that craziness, all that controversy at the trade deadline, it came down to a game between those two franchises that meant less than zero.
Zero
right?
stars. Interesting.
And guess who the stars were? JaVale McGee and Rondo.
You ain't like Caruso? Caruso, yeah, he gave you 20.
Caruso
You
know what? He's had a bunch of nice games.
He has had some good games.
He might be a solid player.
G-League player.
Yeah, he might be a nice backup.
Yeah, I wouldn't bank on him.
He's making the most of his moment.
Yeah, let that man get some shine. Skip, you trying to steal
But Rondo had
thunder.
24 and 12 last night and 12 assists, and JaVale had 23 and 16 rebounds. Okay,
But
that's it? That's it.
Skip, the last 6 games, JaVale McGee has been a monster. Had JaVale McGee played like this, his whole career, he'd have been the All-Star and the Hall of Famer.
Okay, so did Lakers management get together and say, well, let's try for Zion. Let's just try to increase as much as we can for Zion, right?
We're going to get him.
So they got the last 5 games to lose, and if they lose all 5, their record will be equal to what it was 1 year ago, 35 and 47. Yeah. And that would get them probably 10th place in the West, and it would get them a 3% shot. I think it's 3%.
Well, the Cavs got Kyrie with a 1%. So guess what? We're going to get Zion. I tell you, look, and I know all the conspiracy theorists are going to come out then. You leading the trumpet. How could the Lakers, this is Adam Silver wanting the Lakers to be relevant again, give them the ping pong ball, because we're going to get that ball, and we're going to trade Zion's butt to the Pelicans.
It's a big butt.
Yeah, we gonna trade it. We gonna trade it.
It's a great butt.
Guess what?
Yeah.
We gonna trade him for AD and Holiday.
Yeah.
And we gonna play basketball next year.
Okay. So this is the last time I'm going to bring this up because this is the end of LeBron's Laker run, first year. And it was an epic disappointment, I think, by all standards.
It was a flop.
The Los Angeles Times had a great piece. I think it was on Saturday. It was a full page in the real newspaper, which we get at home, obviously living here in LA.
You still read the paper?
Yeah.
Well, you know you can get it on your phone.
Ernestine does. She's addicted to it because she's old school. She likes to read.
Oh, she like the tangible. She like to actually feel it.
She does it every day. She lays out the. I don't read it anymore. I don't read out the paper. I'm only online. But it was all about LeBron, and the headline was about LeBron has become a major player in Hollywood. And that's a strong statement to say major player. And it had a rendering of LeBron that we can see right here with the sunglasses down on the nose. Says Hollywood.
Who did it? I want to know who did it.
Hollywood.
I'm asking for that job. Who did that?
That's good.
That ain't good.
Yeah, I like that. But the point is, it goes on and on. He's got 50 irons in the Hollywood fire. I don't have time to list all of them. I don't know how you have time to focus on basketball. And I would hope that works. That looks good.
Bro, he's like, I got that thing coming.
I would hope he would find a little off-season time to even work on his free throw shooting or something.
Stop!
Well, no, seriously. I don't know how you can be an MVP candidate with all that Hollywood going on. It's just so hard. And
Michael Jordan did it.
Not like he wasn't a mogul. He wasn't He was not.
Yeah, Brand Jordan, Jumpman.
He did Space Jams, and he had somebody at Nike doing all the shoes for him, right? He didn't have to do anything.
Well, LeBron got somebody doing all that. LeBron got the great team.
He
got Mav doing this. He got Rich Paul doing that.
Power
he got
brokers.
Mims doing this.
Okay, I got it, but it still requires his sign-off on all of it. He can't let it run amok.
Yeah.
Okay?
And the head of the team, he got Savannah holding down the home front, so all his mind is free. All he doing is just giving folk that work on the court. That's all he needs to do.
That's a really good point, though. He's got a lot going.
He ain't got no good point.
But after this season, he will have played 55 games. He played 104 last year, including the playoffs. So if he has time to heal and if he doesn't come back
9 weeks
better than what we've seen, there's really no more excuses.
9 weeks of rest time, Skip.
That's big. I agree.
Because I think we start shooting our move probably like late July, mid.
Well, you should know. You're in the inner circle. Huh?
You're going to find a way to
be out on
you know what, Skip?
You're going to be out on the lot. You're going to be in his trailer?
I mean, if he need me to pass him the ball while he's making those free throws, like 100 a day.
You know what? He needs a hoop right outside his trailer. Yeah. Just shoot 1,000 a day.
Well, somebody else had a hoop.
You can rebound for him.
Somebody else, when they shot the original Space Jams, had a basketball court set up, so I don't know why we couldn't have one.
He was winning championships.
No, he didn't win nothing. Remember, he got the brakes beat off him when he came back. You remember that, Skip?
Championship.
You remember that?
I remember
Orlando.
6-0. Do you
when
remember
Nick
that?
Anderson stole the ball from him. Did you remember that?
I do.
On the court, he can look it up. Like Buster Douglas knocked out Tyson, how he was looking for his mouthpiece. Yeah. Nick Anderson swiped the ball for him, and Joe was like, what?
And then I don't know how he did it, but he won 3 more with 3 more MVPs.
Well, we might not
6-0.
We might not win. We might not win 3 more, but we're gonna get us another one.
Okay.
We're gonna get an MVP.
Right. You got a lot of time to prepare.
No mercy.
The Eagles, they got Carson Wentz, a deep threat by trading for Desean Jackson last month. Jackson is reuniting with an Eagles team that lost in the playoffs last season, but won the whole thing the year before. Jackson told TMZ Saturday about the team's ultimate goal. Let's take a listen.
Back in Philly, what's going to be different about this time? Because, you know, last time...
Man, we ain't worried about the last time. We chasing some jewelry, though, man. We trying to, you know, stack it up on the wall, man. So, you know, it's good to, you know, get back to where it all started, you feel me? And, you know, they got some good things going on. I'm just happy to be an addition to that.
You guys were both enjoying that.
Yeah.
I love that.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to hear what you have to say. Yeah. Shannon, do you like him saying this?
Look.
Jewelry.
Saying things in March, Skip, has no bearing once the season kicks off in September. You have a long way to go, and lots of people say lots of different things in March and April and May, but it has really no bearing. We understand why Desean Jackson came back. He's very familiar with the city. He's very familiar with this organization, and he feels he can add something to this team. I believe with the addition of D-Jack, they will be better than they were in the past because they have a legit guy that can take the top off the coverage. Okay. Zach Ertz, he's not getting worse. He's only going to get better. Alshon coming back. I love the addition of Jordan Howard so they can get back to running the football and not relying on walk it to him, Carson Wentz, to just throw. Now you can turn around and hand the ball off, and he can get you 4 yards. He can get you that first down without having to throw constantly. I like the signing of Malik Jackson in the middle to go along with Fletcher Cox. They're going to be better than you think, Skip Bayless. Well, we're going to talk about this a little later. You know, Vegas. You love Vegas, right? Yeah, you say it's big. They say people bet all the time now. Vegas said something very interesting that you and I think you and I both going to find very interesting.
Maybe.
The fact of the matter is, look, D-Jack going to have a monster day. He said, we coming, you know, we're going to put pelts on the wall.
Really?
Start with Cowboys.
Stack them up.
Yeah.
Stack 'em up.
Back in the Wild Wild West, it was pelts. You know, you went hunting for animals. You know, you tried to get some Cowboys on our wall. Yep.
I know Desean, he's got no Wild West.
Well, Chip Kelly thought so.
Strictly now. Yep. I love Desean Jackson. But he was just, looked like he was sitting on the curb at the airport or something.
Yeah,
TMZ caught him, you know. But I got news for him. The only thing he's going to be chasing is the Dallas Cowboys.
They're not chasing the Cowboys. That's not what Vegas said.
You know, that's what he's chasing. And this, I'm afraid to say, reminded me of what my other man, Vince Young, once said famously or infamously in 2011. We got the dream team.
No, he didn't say we got a dream team. That ain't what D-Jack said. That's not what D-Jack said.
They signed Nasi Asamoah, another guy, a friend of mine. How are you, Nambi? I haven't heard from Nambi in a while.
He's busy.
He's very busy. And they signed Jason Babin and Colin Jenkins and DRC and Evan Mathis. Not exactly Hall of Fame parade there, but whatever. That was
they were good players at the time.
I know they were good at the time. They started out that next year 1-4 and finished 8-8. In the following year they went 4-12, and Andy Reid was history in Philadelphia. So that's what happened to the bad dream team. So now we come to Desean Jackson. He is entering his 12th season, and I'm just going to put this in perspective. And I do love him. I just love what he's all about, and he can still run past people.
You better believe it.
He's all-time 2-5 in the playoffs, and the last time he caught a touchdown pass in a playoff game was in 2009 against my Cowboys in a game the Eagles lost to my Cowboys in the playoffs. He has never had a single 100-yard receiving day in any playoff game he's ever played in. And his all-time record against my Dallas Cowboys is 7-11. And the last game that he started that Philly beat Dallas was back in 2013. That's a long time ago. What are we up on? Almost 7 years?
Skip Bayless, it's not Desean Jackson against the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay.
It's the Philadelphia Eagles against the Dallas Cowboys. So you always trying to separate. But I want you to know, D-Jack watches the show. You know, D-Jack, we got that thing, you know. Me and him got a little something we got to get taken care of.
Okay, all right, good.
I bet he have a 100-yard game against y'all this year.
Yeah, I'm going to bet on that.
I'll
bet on that.
Oh, I got the Eagles. We already got the Eagles in the division.
Okay, all right. Do you want another case on Desean doesn't have a 100-yard game?
He'll have a touchdown.
I don't want to do that. He could catch a 1-yard touchdown.
No, when do you ever know D-Jack to catch a 1-yard touchdown?
You could do it. Edelman catches 1-yard touchdown.
When you ever know Edelman to take the top off the coverage? That's what D-Jack does. D-Jack is a home run hitter.
Okay. It's kind of in a drought here lately.
Did you see all big plays? Did you see the highlight, the montage we had on the screen when we were talking about what he was talking about? All I seen was somebody
history.
Skip, that was just last year.
Right. Well, and how good were they last year in Tampa?
How good was Fitzpatrick?
Yeah.
How good was he?
Well, Jameis was there, and Jameis came to Dallas with Desean late in the year.
And we've already talked about Jameis and the turnovers.
Okay. So the dream team is actually what Philadelphia lost this year because they lost Michael Bennett. You never talk about that. They lost Michael Bennett.
Yeah.
They lost Jordan Hicks, who was the #1 ranked linebacker in all of free agency. They lost him to the Arizona Cardinals.
Yes.
They lost Golden Tate, and that's no small thing because the Giants.
Is he better? Let me ask you a question. He better than DJ?
Yep. Better all-around receiver. Right here, right now, today, he's better.
But
he's more valuable.
But here's the thing, Skip. They have Aguilar. Alshon. All those guys are very They're very similar. We needed the guy that could take the top off the coverage so you guys can't sit back there and try to double team Zach Ertz because you know he's going to get like 13, 14 catches.
Okay. So you also lost your best quarterback. And that you can't,
no, we didn't.
You can't undervalue
our best quarterback.
You lost your best quarterback.
Our best quarterback is coming back healthy. That was the #1 addition in free agency.
And there's no more shrine to him in your locker room because now it's all Wentz all the time. All Wentz as in, I Wentz, W-I-N-C-E.
Chris Long, tear that shrine down.
Okay, tear that shrine down. So you added the immortal Jordan Howard. I do like him, but is he Ezekiel Elliott?
No.
I don't think so. And Malik Jackson, used to love him when he was in Denver, but that was a long time ago, and I think he's a little on the downside as a run defender, especially. And Zendejo, I don't know, I could take him or leave him. Meanwhile, the Dallas Cowboys add back Travis Frederick and Jason Witten. That works for me. Then they went out and they got Randall Cobb, and they got Robert Quinn, and they got George Iloka. And I'm like, yes.
I saw Jason Witten getting inducted to the Texas Hall of Fame. Do you see that? And now he ain't got no hair. He had a head full.
Gosh. You're calling out his hair?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to know.
I have no comment because I cannot explain it. I don't know what happened.
what happened, Skip?
I don't know what happened.
Was it a part of the deal? If you retire, you got to turn.
I don't either. I saw it.
Did you have to turn the hair back in once you give up the job? I mean, like
possible.
That is mean, Shannon.
It's possible. I can't counter that because you're right. That's the first thing I noticed. Like, what? What happened?
So in other words, he's like, I'm done with TV. When you go that route, you are officially done with television.
Okay, that's fine. So I like it. Maybe he's all in for Dallas next year.
Skip.
Huh?
It's over.
Shave that head.
Who needs time to focus on hair?
Shave
I look at it. I'm like, this is Jason Witten. I was like, that ain't Jason Witten because the Jason Witten I know had long flowing locks.
You know what? Sleeker, faster. Oh, maybe he'll add a second to his 40.
No,
he might.
Skip, it's over.
Aerodynamic is correct.
Skip, it's over.
He'll just cut through the air.
Skip, it's over. It's over.
It's not over.
It's over. You know he's not going to run any faster.
By the way, my #1 receiver has a whole offseason now with the best quarterback in the division. How can you argue with that?
I don't know how happy he's going to be. He ain't getting that money.
Yeah,
he just saw what Antonio Brown got. He just saw that what Julio got. Ooh, Skip.
Really?
Julio, $20 million a year. About 60 guaranteed.
Your best receiver is chasing jewelry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going to be chasing them footballs, too. And Carson, hey, walking to him, throw it as far as you can. I got it.
He's going to go back and say, could you quit bouncing it to me? Because if you get it to me, I could catch it.
Okay, what about Zeke?
You can't bounce it to
Zeke
me.
want that. Zeke,
Yeah.
He want to eat, Skip.
So?
You got to feed him.
We just did bargain basement. Randall Cobb, nothing. George Iloka, nothing.
But these
Robert Quinn, small.
What about Odak?
Yeah.
Odak say, Dak, they cut out 2 of his commercials. He need money now.
Maybe. We got plenty of cap room to take care of everybody.
No, you don't.
Which means your nightmare is going to be endless.
I just want to make sure I hear
endless.
Make sure I hear you correctly.
Yep.
You got cap space to take care of everybody if they give you a hometown state discount, correct?
This is what Jerry does best. He'll figure it out.
What you call him? Say, D. Lawrence say, I ain't got nothing for you. D. Lawrence say, I want all my bread.
Well, he has no choice but to play this year.
I ain't playing.
And all I'm caring about is this year.
D. Lawrence,
all that matters
hold
right
out to the very end.
Yeah.
Hold out to the very end. Show up Sunday, day of the game. That's what I'm going to do, Skip.
Okay, well,
we'll see. Chase them rings.
Yep. We'll see about that. The jewelry. You guys ever been caught by TMZ?
Yes, all the time.
All the time?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, all the time.
Unfortunately, all the time. Yeah, not for
no,
me.
Actually,
I always find that interesting.
I like it, actually.
I know you do. You love talking.
I like all the TMZ guys because they love me.
All right. Yeah,
I like him too. I'm like, bruh, can you give me a break?
Yeah.
Can you give me a break? I mean, you just got me the other.
They work really
Ernestine
hard.
winds up sitting in the car after the valet guy goes to get it, and she's just sitting there watching me, and I'm doing like 30 minutes.
Yeah, you got to talk
I'm doing
to him.
stand-up, man.
I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah, no. You love.
I'm gonna have to catch some of that
You on
footage
TV
later.
every day, 5 days a week for 2.5 hours.
I like
and you
it.
can't
Gotta
get
get
enough
more
TV.
in.
They're big fans, man.
Oh, okay, I get
They
this.
love us.
That is
They
cool.
do.
Yeah.
But like when I'm done with TV,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to get back on
I
TV.
got it.
What about that video you posted yesterday?
Oh man, you know that ain't nothing. Coach
I don't know
Izzo,
if you were done with
Coach
TV.
Coach Izzo asked me, could I come to Minnesota and talk to his team? I said, I don't know.
We'll see what we can do.
I don't know if I could do that. Coach.
Okay, we're going to go back to Zion because a former NBA All-Star took a pretty major shot at him.
Yep.
We're going to give you the details
Can't
next.
wait.
No mercy.
Zion and Duke were upset yesterday by Michigan State, but despite the loss, Zion averaged 26 points in the tournament and should be the #1 pick in the draft. But he still has his critics, including former NBA All-Star Gilbert Arenas. So let's take a listen to what he said.
You have this great phenom player that has no true skill. And that's what I've said. You can dominate, but not dominate, because you're going to go to another level where they're going to make you a three.
Yeah.
Do you know how to come off pin downs?
Yeah.
Do you know how to run baseline curls?
Yeah.
Do you pick and roll, pick and pop? No, you was Blake Griffin it.
Yeah.
You know, you're Blake Griffin it, waiting for track and field, and you run in and dunk it. So when I look at stuff like that, it's like, he's going to train that kid one day, and he's going to sit there scratching his head like, you're going to be the #1 pick, and I'm struggling with how you can't do majority of the stuff that other players can.
All right, Shannon, you heard what he had to say. Do you agree with Arenas?
Where have you heard that before?
I don't know.
Oh, you know.
I haven't heard that.
You heard it.
I didn't hear any of that.
Oh, you heard it. Because I told you, I don't know what he's going to be.
He's going to be a star. That's all I know.
And while you're talking about Blake Griffin was 23-14 on 65% shooting. Okay. Now, it wasn't until Blake developed an outside shot skill.
What if I told you 1,000 times?
You didn't like him, okay.
Yep.
And he walked it back. Now he has 3-point range.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we keep, but wait till he develop a shot. How'd that work for Ben Simmons? He developed that shot yet, Skip?
Not yet.
What about Lonzo? He developed that shot yet?
3.
Gilchrist.
3.
He developed this shot yet? Oh, okay. I'm just asking a question.
Okay.
So,
Are you predicting Lonzo will not develop a shot?
All I'm saying is that we automatically assume because you work 25 hours a day, it's going to happen. I can assure you, Ben Simmons is working on his shot. I can assure you, Kid Gilchrist is working on his shot. There's not to say that it won't happen, but when I look at, and I've said this numerous times, what is Zion Williamson? When we looked at all this hype that he's getting like KD, like AD, like LeBron, you knew what they were going to be once they entered into the NBA. I look at Zion, just like Gilbert said, he's a tremendous talent. He's immensely athletic at 6'6.5", maybe 6'7". Hell, who knows? He might be 6'5". At 285 pounds. He's explosive. But, Skip, when you're the biggest guy on the court and you don't have to really post up, because you watched him in high school, he did this, they throw it to his left hand, he pivot and dunk. You look in college, he's going up against inferior talent. He wasn't really sitting down in that post, fighting for position. He was so much more talented than everybody else. Now, dealing with grown men now. See, you ain't playing for books and tuition, Skip. You're not eating in the training table. The grown men out there. KD, AD, Kawhi, Paul George, Bron, old King James. He coming back on a mission. Now, you remember, he's sitting the last 6 games.
You had me until you put #2 in that list.
Don't do that. It's good. He's still unbelievable.
You can't do that around here.
Real men.
Yeah.
Skip, Zion had an unbelievable college season. But to say that he's going to be a superstar based on just dunks and putbacks is hard for me to believe. I need to see more. And as we talked about in the first segment, Skip, you wanted to see him get the ball. Well, they could put the ball in his hands if he could raise up and shoot like R.J. Barrett could. We're going to see if he develops that shot. Skip, you're going to be on to something. But if he doesn't, nah, bro. He's just going to be a guy that can get a bunch of rebounds and dunk.
So I'll start with this. I covered Gilbert Arenas in his first 2 years in the league in Oakland for those Golden State Warriors, and he was immensely talented coming out of Arizona. Huh?
Hibachi.
Yep. Yeah, he could cook. He also had some of the lowest off-court intangibles we've ever seen in the NBA, and he is now making these damning statements about a kid who has high basketball intangibles.
He's just asking questions.
Okay. Will Zion play hard at the next level?
Yes.
Every play? Yes, he will. Will he continue to play with the joy that he exhibited game after game for Duke? I'm pretty sure he will. Those things count to me. But now let's get back to your thing about what's his position. If you watch the NBA closely, it has become a positionless league. I don't know what they are anymore because I watch every night LeBron James dribble the ball up the court as a point guard and initiate the offense. And then at the other end, on some occasions, he guards the center. Am I right? So I don't know, like LeBron plays 1 through 5. And I see
Zion can do that?
Yep, I do. Okay. I want to remind everyone, Zion Williamson came up through high school as a point guard. He has point skills, and we've seen some dimes that he has dropped even in this NCAA tournament. You can't teach it. You can't coach it. You might be able to refine it a little bit, but he has feel and touch and vision and anticipation that is rare for a man that size.
Anthony Davis was a point guard until he grew 8 inches.
Yeah, but he's not the passer this kid is. This kid is capable of having double-digit assists in a game in the NBA. He's that, especially if he gets with a real coach, an NBA coach, who can put him in an offense that's designed to bring the defense to him and let him dish to open shooters.
Alvin Gentry will be able to do that.
Yeah, okay.
Because we're going to trade him.
Okay, are you? Okay, well, then that's fine. Wherever he goes, I hope that Alvin will be fine. Anybody besides Coach K, because...
Don't do that, Skip.
Well, seriously, when Gilbert's talking about... does he know how to come down?
Yeah, does he?
Pin downs?
Does he?
He just doesn't because he wasn't taught. That's highly teachable at the next level. If he gets with a real offensive basketball coach, watch what starts to happen.
Are you saying Coach K, Mike Krzyzewski, is not a real coach?
I just spent the whole A block of this show saying that.
Skip, the man is
all I know is on offense, I couldn't see a semblance of a design of an offense at any moment in yesterday's game or Friday night's game, or as you said, going back through the whole year. He had the 3 best kids in the country, in the world, on his team, and he just sort of sat and said,
that's not easy.
It was like Guy V. Lewis with the Phi Slamma Jamma. They used to accuse him of just rolling the ball out. You guys do it.
Yeah.
You guys figure it out. Well, don't start ripping and slashing like he doesn't know how to play. His coach doesn't know how to coach him on offense. Put him in a real NBA offense where they can't play zone defense anymore. Remember that. And what do we see from him? We see a 285-pound gymnast. I'm talking about a gymnast in midair with body control.
Yes, he is.
I haven't seen that before, and I got to read these quotes again. Remember, Steve Kerr watched him one night, opening night against Kentucky. Remember that?
Yeah.
And Zion went 28 points on 11 of 13. And the next day, Steve Kerr volunteered to the media. LeBron, I thought, was a one-shot deal, ... And then he caught himself and he said, Adam, I didn't mean it, Adam Silver. Like, I'm not trying to.
Well, okay, so if we're going to discount Gilbert and what he said, although I don't, it'll be very interesting to see when the talent evaluators, when they write up their report, what do they say? Because Skip, it's got to be pros and cons. It just can't be, he's going to be unbelievable. He's 6'9", or he's this and that.
Is he just a football player? No, he's got touch. He's got feel. He's got good hands.
Yes, very good.
He has like receiver's hands to me.
He's got very good hands.
And does he have a pure shot motion? Can he do that with his left hand? Do we see that?
Yeah.
He's starting to extend his range out to 3, where he's shooting threes like free throws.
Yes,
I think Rafferty made the point yesterday. He's shooting the 3 more pure than he shoots the free throw.
But it's a set shot.
Okay, that's fine. He's 6'7" or whatever. Nobody will be able to guard that at the 3-point
Yes, they
line.
will.
Oh, come on.
Yes.
He can put the ball on the floor and blow by?
Well, that's what we wanted to see, Skip.
Okay.
We're going to see if he can put the ball on the floor from that part.
He can blow by.
At some point in time, Skip, because what we've seen in high school, he was the most talented player on the court. He could drop, step, dunk. In college, he was the most talented player on the court. He could do a drop, step, dunk, or drop, step, lay it up. Now you get to the next level.
Do you think he can shoot 35% from 3 in the NBA? I do. Do you think he can shoot, I'll give him 75% from the free throw line once he gets with a shot coach? I do. The motion is pure. It's not awkward. It's not eyesore. It's not one of those where you say, ooh, he can't shoot.
No, there's not a hitch or anything like that. It's fluid. You're absolutely right. I'll give you that.
Fluid. So we get back to Blake Griffin. I watched Blake Griffin for 2 whole years. He stayed an extra year at the University of Oklahoma because he didn't have a shot. I'm not exaggerating. More than 2 feet from the rim, he couldn't shoot it.
Sound like Zion to me.
Okay, so he could just out-athlete everybody in college
Sounds like
basketball,
Zion to
although
me.
he didn't get to any Final Fours, so it wasn't like Zion.
Oh, did he have the kind of talent that Zion had around him?
No.
Did he have Coach K?
But if you were that guy, I kept saying, well, you should be able to rise above that.
Oh yeah, if you're that guy, you should have your team in the Final Four.
So I kept arguing. I said, I'm taking that little guy from Davidson over Blake Griffin, and everybody said, you're out of your mind.
Right.
And I'm still taking the little guy from Davidson. I'm still taking Steph over Blake Griffin.
Normal rule of thumb is that you normally take the great big guy over the great little guy, because even though Hakeem Olajuwon, and nobody's Hakeem, Portland Trail Blazers took Sam Bowie, who was a great big guy in college. Although he was injured a bunch, that would have been red flags for me, Skip. You breaking feet and legs and at 18, 19, I don't know about that. But Zion, Skip, he's an unbelievable 285. Skip, let me ask you this. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, he's 6'6", he's 200 pounds, and he's doing the exact same thing. Do we feel the same way, or is it because he's 6'6", 285, and we have never seen a man that size, that agile, able to do the things he does?
Well, he can be a wrecking ball in the NBA because he can bash bodies out of the way, which is physique. He can play the way Charles Barkley played, except Barkley was not really a leaper. Barkley mostly played at a little below or at the basket.
Barkley could get up.
He got up, but not like this guy.
No,
like
Skip,
Barkley did it with his caboose. He could just bang people. It's like Mark Aguirre in my days in Dallas. Big caboose. You can just bang people out of the way and fall away and make it off the glass.
Oh, you think he's gonna be able to do that?
Yep.
Have you seen him do it?
Have I seen him?
Yeah.
Have I seen him in an offense that he didn't get Coach K in?
Stop it.
No,
Skip.
I'm serious.
I can't believe I'm not going to this treasonous Skip, this blasphemy out here.
I only react to what my eyes tell me, and that's what my eyes told me.
A five-time champion, a
what
two-time
have you
Olympic.
done for me lately with Zion?
Really, Skip?
Is it not shameful they're not in the Final Four with that group? Come on.
Okay. They had they had Elton Brand. Skip, they've had talented teams before. You know how this works.
So what did Zion finally show you? At the highest level.
What did he show you?
Take over Gene. What did R.J. Barrett show you? Do over Gene. He needed lots of do-overs. Am I right? Do it over because you just keep shooting.
Well, why did he take that game over there?
Take over.
That game was right there for the taking.
My one issue is unselfish to a fault.
You're right.
To a fault. Like Zion, just be the man.
No.
Just say, go give me the ball. He's a team guy.
And he says it in all of his
I
interviews.
want the energy. I told you I want that energy that you have with LeBron.
Do you want selfish energy or do you
No. Because my guy is very unselfish.
Who?
Who my guy?
He's not around. He's irrelevant now. He's out of sight, out of mind.
Well, okay, I thought you mentioned.
You're disqualified from talking about him. He's shut down.
Is your guy in the Final Four?
Huh?
Is your guy in Minnesota?
He's not
Because my team going to Minnesota.
I don't even like Duke.
My team going to Minnesota.
I don't like Duke.
You're a Zion fan.
I don't.
Well, what you gonna do now?
Huh? Well, the better question is, what is America going to do now? Because you want to watch the final score? Yeah. That's what it is. It's the final score, final score.
I think they'll
oh, yeah, because it's in your hometown.
It's the best town ever.
Yeah.
I mean, look.
It's got that going for it, but that's about all it's got.
Nice people.
It didn't matter. Look, you could.
I bet you won't even watch Michigan State on Saturday. You'll find something better to do. It's going to be nice and hot
I'm going to the
here.
movies. Going to the movies.
You are not. You're going to watch the game.
No, I'm not.
Don't even say that.
I might.
What?
Skip, I'm not going to lie, Skip. If Duke had gotten in, I don't know who's going to have it, TBS or CBS. I don't know who's going to broadcast the actual game. They could have lived with that. But when you miss out on Duke and you got no blue bloods, no Kansas, no UK, no Carolina.
Really?
Ooh.
Watch what happens to these Raiders.
Yeah.
Watch what happens.
I know Texas Tech is a great school, and all the alumni, I get all that. Auburn is a great school. Charles Barkley's doing handstands. But that's not basketball royalty.
Okay, I'll be watching. It's the madness. You tune in for the craziness, which we saw last weekend. Okay, we're going to talk.
What? Wait a second. We never brought that up. My team, Duke, went farther than your team, Carolina.
I thought you didn't like Duke.
Yes.
Oh,
I've been waiting for you to bring it up.
I forgot all about that because I don't even care.
Feels like old news.
If Auburn shoot the ball like they shot the ball against Kentucky, against Kansas, against Carolina, they cutting down the nets.
I thought Carolina was going to cut down the net.
I don't care about Carolina as long as you know who's not cutting down the net.
Okay, I'm not sure where you guys are going to go with this next one, but should the Browns be the favorite to win the AFC North? We'll get back to that next. No mercy. Adding Odell Beckham Jr. to the lineup will add 2 more wins for the Browns next season, according to sportsbook operator CG Technology. Their win totals were released yesterday, and Cleveland is predicted to win 9 games, which is 2 more than last season. The Browns are co-favorites in the AFC North with the Steelers, who lost Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown. The Ravens trail both teams with 8.5 wins. Shannon?
Yes.
Who should be the favorite in the division?
I believe it should be Cleveland, Skip, for 2 reasons. The subtractions that the Steelers had, AB and Le'Veon, Skip, those were 2 of the top 5 players at their position in all of football, and they're no longer there. I think Cleveland should be favored because I believe the step that Baker Mayfield would take in year 2 as opposed to year 1 would be significant. And the upgrades that they got, Odell Beckham Jr., they brought in Kareem Hunt, who's going to be missed the first 8 games. I like what they did defensively. Now, if they can just blend it, get this thing to Sheldon Richardson and Olivier Vernon, get them up to speed. I love Denzel Ward. Garrett is showing that, okay, yeah, I should have been the first pick in the draft. I love those 2 linebackers. They're not as well known as Jalen Smith and the Wolf Hunter, but Shover and Kirksey is an unbelievable talent. The Ravens, Skip, when you look at the Ravens, what they lost defensively, they lose Suggs, they lose the other linebacker, and they lose C.J. Mosley and Zadarius Smith. And when you look at them offensively, now you don't have the element of surprise like you had when you inserted Lamar Jackson into the starting lineup. You don't have the element of surprise, Skip. Now people have the entire offseason to prepare for what you're going to give them. We know, everyone knows you're going to be a run-first offense and then basically throw out a necessity. Now, you're going to try to, flip that around because you changed offensive coordinator. You went with Greg Roman. You relieved Marty Mornhinweg of his duties. But at the end of the day, until Lamar Jackson is substantially a better thrower of the football, teams are going to stack the box. And it should have gave you a little pause for concern when you saw what happened in the wild card round of the playoffs against the Chargers. So that was foreshadowing of things to come. I do believe Cleveland, based on their situation, their quarterback and their personnel, they should be the favorite. And I do believe they're going to win this division.
Just can't get it through my head where the flip occurred, where you used to just ridicule Baker Mayfield on a daily basis, like it went all season long.
I did.
He ain't that, and he ain't this, and he ain't that.
It wasn't fun to listen to.
Yeah. And all
he wasn't then. He is now.
What just happened?
What changed?
What happened? I don't know what happened. Is it a way to undercut the fact that I wanted Baker to be the first overall pick because I said he's just going to be better than all the quarterbacks in this draft? You like Sam Darnold. Do you still like him?
I still like him.
Okay. Do you like him better than Baker? No.
This is not a Sam Darnold discussion.
Okay, it's not. But I'm just trying to put this
and we got due on, and we already got due on this one.
Due on this?
Yeah.
I don't even remember this.
You got Steelers.
Oh.
You talk about the Steelers are the most talented team, and the Steelers going to win this division.
Okay, I want to be very clear about this. I love Baker Mayfield. I will root like crazy for Baker Mayfield. But objectively, I think the Steelers are still a little bit better than the Cleveland Browns. And I definitely believe the Steelers will have more incentive next year, more motivation next year with less pressure than the Cleveland Browns.
They got more pressure, Skip. Oh, hold on. You got rid of those 2 guys?
The world is saying Cleveland. It's done deal. They're a playoff team. The over-under on their wins, just rocketed it up.
2 more.
Huh?
2 more.
Yeah. 2
more wins than last year. But you just, hold on. You added pressure to the Steelers. You said Ben is going to have an MVP season. They've removed Antonio Brown. They've removed Le'Veon Bell. Oh, now that pressure is immense. You missed the playoffs last year, Skip Bayless.
Okay. So the new center of the AFC North universe is in Cleveland. Am I right?
Yep.
That's pressure for a second-year quarterback with a whole new team, with an Odell who could
It ain't no whole new team.
different.
He got one guy new on offense.
Yep.
Stop it.
Will he or won't he? Odell, will he be all in or a little out?
Will he or won't he?
Yeah.
Will Washington, James Washington, will he step up and be number 2? Can Juju replicate what he did last year, playing second fiddle to AB?
Did you
will
see
he or won't he?
report out of Pittsburgh
What
yesterday that Ben Roethlisberger is thinking about giving up his radio show, his weekly radio
Oh, really?
show?
Why would he do that?
A lot of fans pressured him via social media to be more outspoken, at least be more accessible to the fans. So he started doing this radio gig a few years back, and it got him last year in nothing but trouble.
Skip, doing a radio show doesn't make you accessible. They're not in the studio.
Well,
You're
he's
at home.
giving more of himself because he was giving his opinion, right?
I think when they mean
some
accessible,
people did not love his opinion, especially the guy who's now an Oakland Raider.
well, I think there's a whole lot of people that didn't love his opinion.
Okay.
I think Ben thought that when he gives an interview, it's off the record. Little did he
Like
know.
a radio interview, it's only the three of us.
Exactly.
Really, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Little did he know that, this thing's live. And when I say something critical, not only can the fans hear it, but the players hear the players that I'm talking about hears it also. I think he should give the radio show up or take a different approach. Do it like Tom. Just golly gee whiz, nothing here.
I don't think that's in him.
People
though.
going
Maybe not.
Listen, this is what we know. When you do a radio show and you're the quarterback, people are going to listen just because you are the quarterback of their favorite team. Tom is not going to give you anything in depth.
Yep.
Brandon's not going to give you anything in depth.
Well,
Except
he did
criticism.
last
He gave you some criticism.
Yep, he did.
Don't do it. Give it up for all the wrong give it up for all the right reasons, Ben.
You want him to tear his team apart again.
No, why would I want him to do
Because
that?
you have torn him apart. You have made him the scapegoat in Pittsburgh for all the ills of that locker room. You say you dump it all on Ben's doorstep. Am I right?
Coach
Yes.
Tomlin gets some. Ben gets some.
Yeah.
AB gets some. I don't give Le'Veon anything because Le'Veon wasn't there. How they lumped him into this situation when he wasn't there, labeled him selfish because he didn't want to put wear and tear on his body for the price that they wanted to pay him.
But to whom do you give the lion's share of the blame? The lion at quarterback. He's a big lion.
That's what you say, the quarterback. You say the quarterback, he's the most important position.
I do.
He's the most valuable at the position.
Yeah.
So I expect him to take more of the responsibility.
Okay, so he is now. No more radio show. That's where he's reportedly leaning. And that would indicate to me significantly he's going to lock back in. This is going to be his bounce back year at age 37 to say, Shannon Sharpe, Hall of Famer, watch this.
Can I ask you a question? Do you think the opposing teams know Ben Roethlisberger had a radio show? They don't give a D about him giving up a radio show.
Okay. You're going to see Ben play with a vengeance this year.
You're going to see Baker.
Okay.
Well, he in the kitchens?
So,
Skip, you know what's in the kitchen?
I'm glad you brought
Love
that up.
that one.
So, Mike Tomlin, Freddie Kitchens.
Don't do that, Skip.
Mike
Stop.
Tomlin, Freddie Kitchens. Who you got?
Hold on.
You want the guy who's never been a head coach because he was never even a coordinator until last year?
You saw what he did.
Mike Tomlin, Freddie
Hold
Kitchens.
on.
I think it's going this way.
Yeah.
When
Definitely
Mike Tomlin first got the job,
Yeah.
was everybody talking about, ooh, boy, I look at that Mike Tomlin. Man, I can't wait till Mike Tomlin get, was everybody saying that? No. He had to prove himself. Give Freddie that opportunity. I think he showed you had something.
Yeah, but he better break through right out of the box or
got it.
you're going to be all over him. He's going to be your new scapegoat.
No, there ain't going to be no new scapegoat. We going to get it done. We get things done here. You get paid, Skip. This is not college. These are not 18, 19-year-old kids.
So Ben Roethlisberger had one of his better years last year in which he finished third in QBR, and he led the league in passing yards and touchation passes.
Statistically,
Okay.
he might have had his best year.
Yeah, and he's the scapegoat.
As a leadership role, he had his worst year.
Well, so he's now refocused, and does he have a dearth of weapons? I mean, he doesn't have Cleveland's receiving core, but did Juju make the Pro Bowl last year? Yeah. I told you, James Washington is a stud waiting to break out, and now they added Moncrief, and they re-signed Eli Rogers. It's not bad. And listen, James Conner and Jalen Samuels that's a pretty
Which
good
one of them
thunder and
Le'Veon?
lightning.
Well, then why you want? Hold on, Skip.
1 + 1 = 2.
If you don't mind me asking, well, then why, if you had James Conner and you saw what he done, why were you trying to sign Le'Veon? Why didn't you just go ahead and let him go free agency like you did this year? Why didn't you do that last year? If you were so sure that James Conner and Jalen Samuel were going to do what they did, why are you bothering this man, wasting his time?
Who had the better defense last year, Pittsburgh or Cleveland? I think I'd have to give the nod to Pittsburgh. And guess who's not there in Cleveland? Greg Williams.
Which
brought your edge. He's out. He's gone.
Well, you should be more out on Pittsburgh. They had the better defense. They got the better coach. They had the better quarterback. They had the better weapons, and they missed the playoffs. You okay with that?
They got the two malcontents out.
Only one?
Out. The two biggest distractions in the history of
the
the
biggest distraction is still there.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. The finger pointing, the excuse making. Oh, yeah, he's still there. He
the guy who's been to 3 Super Bowls. That guy?
He all that.
Okay.
You see what you do, Skip Bayless? I love how you do that. Now, see, when LeBron James, you say he's the biggest drama queen, and all he does is point finger.
I call him drama king. You call him queen. Okay, you can have it.
No,
you can have
queen. Okay, but I'm saying you speak to him in a derogatory manner. Not one time do I say, oh, the guy that win the 9 finals, 8 of them in the straight. I don't do that.
The guy who missed the playoffs?
Oh, your guy missed the playoffs healthy with all his weapons. Healthy.
So here's what I see. Bottom line, I could see Pittsburgh at 10-6, one above their over-under at 9. I could see the Browns winning 9 games and making the playoffs as a wild card. And the Ravens will decide the division because they usually do.
Hold on. Right? I'm trying to figure out. You say you see the Pittsburgh at 10 wins. They started 7-2-1. If you don't mind me asking, Skip, can you tell the people at home what their final record was?
Who was there?
Big Ben was there. Big Ben was there. Mike Tomlin was there. That great defense was there. Juju was there. James Conner was there. Jalen Samuel was there. Vance McDonald was there. Oh, that great offensive line with DeCastro and Pouncey and Villanueva and Reuben Foster. They were there.
It's better than
Where the playoffs? Hold on, I'm trying to see. Who did they play in the first round of the playoffs, Jenny, if you don't mind me asking? Is that in your read?
Oh, no.
Oh.
The air got cleared.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, he's still there stinking it up.
No.
Either way.
What's stinking is in Oakland now.
Don't do that, Skip.
No.
Don't do that. That man out of sight. He ain't bothering nobody. AB's not bothering anyone.
I doubt that.
He left his heart in Pittsburgh.
No,
That's
he
all
didn't.
he talks about is Pittsburgh.
You brought up LeBron just a couple minutes ago.
Yeah.
Were you calling him a drama king?
Queen? Yeah, he called him out of his name, and that's not right, Skip.
Well, another name for him might be a bad teammate. So we're going to discuss everything there with Desean Jackson coming up next.
Dak better not come out here with that food.
No mercy.
Well, LeBron's first year in LA is officially over, and now stories are coming out about his relationship with teammates. ESPN reports LeBron called for a players-only meeting in February, and the King was actually called out by some of his teammates. They complained about LeBron's inconsistent body language throughout the year and added that LeBron admitted and said his behavior, like, quote, slumped shoulders and sideways glances, is something he has tried to work on his entire career. So we're joined by FS1 NBA analyst Desean Jackson. Desean, what do you make of this report?
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
First, I want to say I want to send condolences to Nipsey Hussle and his family.
Thank you.
He was a big part of the culture, did a lot for his community, and I just want to send love to his family at this time.
God rest his
LeBron James, I think people still picking, like, okay, we all know during the season he wasn't the defensive player that we know. A lot of times when teams lose, they magnify everything.
True.
And that's what they're doing now. It feels good to know that the young guys had the guts to call him out. I think that's the positive side of it. Guys did call him out because a lot of times when you have the star player, guys that's not the star don't have the room to call players out. But I like the fact that the guys had the guts to do it. Now, did it help anything? Obviously it didn't. Did they do it at the right time? Obviously they didn't. But anything that's coming in about LeBron or about the Lakers right now, I think most of it is made up because they've been waiting his whole career to find stuff to pick on, or find stuff to point the finger at. I think that's all they're doing right now. None of it holds any weight. The season's already over for them. Let's focus on what they're going to do this summer. I think everybody's making stuff up now.
It's true. LeBron has always had the body language because when you're a great player, it's hard for you to see anything but greatness. And what you don't realize is that everybody can't be like you. You make it seem easy. I mean, you doing things like, oh, man, it's so easy. And then the simplest of passes you make, and the guy lets it go out of bounds, you're like, dude, what are you doing? That's not. But, bro, they're not like you. They're not 400 LeBron Jameses. They're not 10 LeBron Jameses. Right. But great players have a hard time understanding that.
I agree.
And so when he does something or he passes the ball and the guy misses a wide open shot, look, you see, There we go again.
Tim Duncan didn't do that.
Yeah. Tim Duncan had no expression. Was he alive? I mean, he had no emotion, so I didn't know if he was upset. I didn't know if he was mad, he was happy, I didn't know what he was going on with.
Always at even keel.
He was the same way. But it tells you something, because LeBron is used to, that's why he like veteran players, because he knows the expectation level. And these young guys now, they're more in the Fortnite and doing all this on the gram and doing all this other stuff. And LeBron James, yeah, I know, Skip, he got 100 irons in the fire. But guess what?
The Hollywood fire.
That biggest fire, that big bonfire, that 5 alarm, it burns on the basketball court. And he wants that. Now, you ain't followed the gram last night. He had a Coos over. Had a nice bottle. Chateau, Lafite Rothschild. Good stuff.
Never heard of it.
Shared it with his homeboy, shared it with his boy.
What you know about that 5 alarm?
Hey, now, does that strike you as someone that's standoffish, that doesn't want to be around his teammates? Had the man over to his crib, had a nice bottle of that good stuff. Lafite Rothschild, look it up.
I've never
good stuff.
How you know about that?
Too much of that stuff.
You know what, Skip? You feel what I'm saying? He does something a little good, and he doing too much of that.
I do agree with you about great players. And if I may invoke the name of Michael Jeffrey Jordan, he had the same hard time, especially early in his career. Now, he wouldn't go sit at the end of the bench, but he would scowl and he would fret.
No, he just socked people in the eye like he did Steve Kerr, like he did Reed. That's what I'm saying. He socked him in his eye.
Okay, but he'd scowl, like, what are you doing?
He would do that.
Yeah, he would do that.
Yes.
But he would also back it up when it was his time to back it up, because he didn't miss late game free throws and he didn't quit on defense.
Stop it, Skip.
Well, no, but that's the problem. That's what opens the door mid-year, because remember, you're talking about they called it. They had the guts to call out LeBron, but the kids. He tried to send them out to New Orleans. So this is right in the wake of that.
You got to get something, Skip.
Okay, I got you. But they're just sideways about this, you know. And so then they want LeBron to back it up and be great for them, as opposed to being all critical of them on the floor. And what gets me about this, they had lost at New Orleans, then they had a day off, so they have this reported team meeting. And I'm sure it happened. And I'm with you. I do like it that they stood up to him and said, well, come on. What about your body language? Right. At least you could stop that part. Did it work? How did they all respond the next night at Memphis? Not well. It didn't work on the court, because they lost to a pretty below average Memphis team. I know they rise up at home occasionally and have a big game, but that was, and I don't want to beat the dead horse on this or pile on.
That's exactly what you want to do.
But that was the game in which I call for all that video where at Memphis he played no defense. It was like completely embarrassing. It was the most embarrassing defensive game of LeBron's career. He just quit on defense. He wouldn't go. Remember, he was just watching people run by him.
Yeah, his guy was making open threes.
Yeah.
He's looking around.
He's just looking around like, I'm not into this. And they lost another game. So whatever happened in that team meeting didn't exactly detonate them to greatness the next night at Memphis, right?
Let me tell you what this is really about. LeBron looked at the Lakers, and when you're playing from the outside, you might think something, and then you get there, and it's entirely different. LeBron overestimated how good these young players were. That's what happened, because you remember, he got next. This guy right here can do this. I love all that. Okay.
Well, but for a while, I think they were all living up.
When you have
for the first, fourth, all the way up through Christmas.
Stacks, you know this. You might have a perception of a player because you see him once or twice a year. And then when you actually get an opportunity to play with the player, you see his practice habits, you see his study habits, and then you start to see, I see why you haven't taken that next step. Now, I'm not saying this is like that, but there's something that has happened or that hasn't happened. How good should they be? When we look at it, LeBron, you say, LeBron is not the same guy. 27, 8, and 8 doesn't have the same meaning in the Western Conference as it does the Eastern Conference. But I just need to know, when are these guys going to take the next step? When is Ingram, when is Lonzo, when is Kuzma going to take the next step?
Okay, but speaking of 7s and 8s, all I care about is LeBron James in the games he played in is 28 and 27 this year. 28 and 27. So he's one game over 500. Is that about overestimating the kids, or is that about him in year 16 just not being quite as good as he used to be?
It's about him being in the Western Conference.
Yeah.
He wasn't expecting that.
All right.
Okay.
Hold on. Yeah, let that sink in. Let that sink in for a second. You heard what Skip said? Skip said he's not as good as he once was. He's third in assists. He's fifth in scoring. And he's not in year 16. And he's not the player that he once was.
Yeah, the only difference to me is the conference. He realizing that the
28 and 27 says he's not having the impact that he had in the East.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Flip it. Put Kevin Durant on the Lakers. Put LeBron up in Golden State. A Golden State record worse or better with LeBron? Is the Lakers record with KD minus LeBron better or worse?
Golden State's record would be worse with LeBron.
Steph Curry would have 500 threes and Clay would have 400.
Who do they lean on when they get in trouble?
They would never get in trouble.
35.
I was a good. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never get in trouble. Yeah. My brother got in trouble. I kept him in trouble with my grandma.
They have the best clothes in the game. KD is the best clothes in the game right now.
Hold on. Didn't KD miss that free throw?
Do you think if KD had started with the Lakers this year, this team misses the playoffs? I know there are injuries, so it's hard to factor all of it in, but come on.
If LeBron would have started with Golden State, you think they wouldn't have 60 wins by now? I mean, come on now.
There could be some drama king going
on. See, there you go. See what he did again? Even with things going good, 60 wins.
I don't do it. He does it.
No, he ain't do nothing. Yeah. Not the man on the shelf. The man on the shelf. You got what you wish, Skip Bayless.
I didn't wish for him. The last thing I wanted him to be was on the shelf.
No.
Yeah, you didn't want
He's
him.
not, like you said, out of sight, out of mind. He ain't going to bother nobody until, we're going to take these next couple of weeks off, going to get ready to shoot a movie. But come fall, that energy come fall. I want you to have that energy.
I wish you'd get ready to shoot some free throws.
You go.
Yeah, that too.
Come on.
That too.
I want that energy that you got right now and how everybody's, ooh, look at LeBron. Okay. Oh, LeBron down. For the first time in 13 years.
I said that weeks ago.
8 straight trips to the finals. Normally he plays until June 8th.
By winning the Eastern Conference. All 8.
You never said it. You never said anything. Hold on. How did Jordan win his finals? What conference was he in?
Okay, but they were flipped. The world was flipped on its head. The East was stronger than the West.
Okay, how about this here? What about when Magic went to 9 finals in 12 years? How was the West then with Seattle? Were they strong? What about the Dallas Mavericks? Were they good? What about Sacramento? Was they good? I just need to know all these good teams in the West. When Magic Johnson went to 9 in 12 years, can somebody answer me? I just need an answer to that. Nobody said the West was weak then.
The only problem Magic had was Larry Bird in the finals.
But that was in the East.
Yep.
That was in the East. But, okay.
The West was ever weak. The West was never weak.
Hold on. Did you see Magic? Well, how you go to 9 finals in 12 years with a strong conference?
You're just good.
Oh, but LeBron bad. You see what I'm just saying?
The Eastern Conference is different, Shannon. You know that.
It was different now than then, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you see what you did?
Yeah, the Western Conference was always good. The Eastern Conference was not the good when LeBron last 8 years.
So Supersonics was good at one point in time.
They had a Hall of Famers.
In the 70s.
They had Hall of Famers.
Who?
Gary Payton.
You name one guy. But Gary Payton.
One of the best shooters all the time. Ellis, one of the best shooters. You have one of the best defenses. He's a coach now for the Pacers.
McMillan.
One of the best defenders in the game. He had some players on that team now.
Hey, they had Detlef.
Just give me a little time. I'll run it down to you.
I just had to say that. I love Detlef.
Are you willing to sit there and say that the Western Conference with Seattle, with Dallas Mavericks,
Mutombo and Denver?
No. That was in the 90s. I was in Denver when Mutombo got there.
Yeah.
In the 80s, the West was not good. They had 2 teams.
Portland wasn't good?
Stop it.
Portland wasn't good?
Stop it. One Hall of Famer, Clyde Drexler. One.
Okay, so what? So what's your point?
My point is, I want you to have that same energy when you talk about the West and Magic that you have with LeBron in the East.
So Magic rolled through the West the way LeBron used to roll through the East.
Okay,
I'll give you that.
Okay, that's all I need. That's all I want to get that on record.
You took you a while to get there.
Into Bird in the finals.
Jeez.
Oh, and guess what? And LeBron kept running into Golden State in the finals. Because you remember what he did to Kevin Durant when he was in OKC? Cracked his head to the white meat and made him go to Golden State. After he cracked Draymond's head too, made Draymond
He
cry.
didn't make him go to Golden State.
Made him go. He couldn't do it.
Went like 5 years later.
Because you know what? And guess what happened? LeBron owned him 17-5 before he went to Golden State. That's what their record was head to head. In Cleveland and Miami, when he played Kevin Durant, 17-5.
Okay.
So don't pretend like now he go link up with 3 more. I mean, the greatest shooter of all time, a top 5 shooter in all time, and now everybody thumping and putting their chests out.
Okay, we're going to move on from your guy to your guy, Steven. Always good to have you with us. Should the Cowboys be underdogs in the NFC East? We'll discuss that with Greg Jennings next.
Oh, my goodness.
No mercy.
The NFC East will be won by the Eagles next season, according to sportsbook operator CG Technology. Their win total predictions were released yesterday, and Philly is projected to win 9.5 games. The Cowboys added Randall Cobb, Robert Quinn this offseason, but they're projected to win 8.5 games. Last year, they won 10 games. We're joined by Fox NFL analyst Greg Jennings. And Greg, I will start with you, even though Skip was over there shaking his head. Did they get these predictions right?
Absolutely
Right.
not.
Oh,
Not.
I got it.
I fell for it.
I got it. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. When you look at the Dallas Cowboys and what they've been able to do, just let's focus on last year, where they went, winning the playoff game, winning the NFC East, dethroning former NFC East champions, Philadelphia Eagles. I like where the Dallas Cowboys is. I like what they're doing and what they're putting around Dak Prescott. I believe, number one, he has to get rid of the ball to help his offensive line out, but they also have to help him out. But adding Randall Cobb, and when you lose a Cole Beasley, that's really a wash. You really upgrade there, in my opinion, because Randall Cobb, more experience, has played in more meaningful games. He understands how to make big plays. He creates separation still. He can make your young quarterback better, and he's a leader on the sideline and on the playing field.
You know, also, thank you for bringing that up, because we have not had you on since they added Randall Cobb.
That's actually a good point.
You
You're
know
right, you
Randall.
know him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Great personality, great mesh dynamic with a quarterback, specifically a young quarterback. He's going to make Dak Prescott a lot better and build that confidence as well.
And that going to make him a lot madder.
No.
When he ain't throwing the ball. Or he skip it to him or hit him in the heel.
Really?
No, but I like the Dallas Cowboys. They have not gotten worse. They've gotten better. And we've already seen what they've been able to do with now a young offensive coordinator who was already in the fold at quarterback, Coach Kellen Moore. So there's a relationship there. We all know how important that is with a quarterback to an offensive coordinator, somebody's going to be who you trust to give you the right plays that I want to run, that I'm comfortable and confident in running. I like the pieces that are in Dallas. I think they'll be a 10-plus win team. When I look across to their opponents in Philadelphia Eagles, they've lost a lot. They've acquired Jordan Howard as of recently and Desean Jackson. I think those are huge additions. Absolutely. I think those are huge additions. Yeah. But
he's getting up there in age.
When you lose guys like Michael Bennett and Nick Foles, I think Nick Foles is going to be the biggest loss within this locker room. And this is why I say that. This is no disrespect to Carson Wentz, but every player has an ego. Carson Wentz or Nick Foles was a very huge plus and positive in that locker room, but he also was a negative in the mentality of that guy, Carson Wentz. Because when you see how much your team clings on to another player you're supposed to be the guy, it messes with you mentally. You may never say it. He may never disclose fully what it means, but Shannon, you know, if you're hurt and you're injured and you're looking at another tight end catching balls and the team is rallying around this guy, although you want the best for the team, you still want to be appreciated and valued as, man, you guys don't miss me? You don't need me anymore? And I think that played with the psyche of a Carson Wentz. So I think he'll get better because Nick Foles is now out of the wings, so to speak. They have a great relationship, had a great relationship, continue to have a great relationship, but I think he'll thrive better. I just don't see them winning the NFC East. I think it'll be competitive, but with Dallas at 8.5 wins, I think they're wrong there.
I disagree with you, and let me tell you why I disagree with you. Because you make some very compelling points. They added Randall Cobb.
Eloquent point.
Yes.
It was brilliant.
It was very,
But all the reasons why they should be better are the very reasons they won't. They don't have the prosperity well. Now, instead of last year where they played that bull jive schedule, they got a first place. Bull jive. That's how they got, remember.
Go to Carolina and go to Seattle.
And they took and what they do? Took the L. Okay, then. See,
then what happened?
Can you let me finish my point?
Please do.
You asked me.
Yeah,
you remember in 2015, they stunk it up. They got a last place schedule. They won the division. In 2016, 2017, after having to play a first place schedule, stunk it up.
So now the history gods have decreed every other year Dallas is going to stink it up. Is that how it works? It's decreed from the heavens.
What is this?
It's over next year. We shouldn't even have a show next year.
What is decreed is that your Rookie of the Year quarterback, how much better has he gotten since his rookie year to now? Because he's still holding on to the ball. Greg come out here every year and says he needs to get rid of the ball sooner. And every year, he's still holding it. He's still patting it back there.
He won the division and a playoff game. What more could you ask?
Here's one of the reasons why I believe Dak Prescott has had this label of holding the ball. He hasn't had the guys around him that he can trust to know I can get rid of the ball and trust they're going to be open and be where I need them to be. Now that he has Amari Cooper, who he will have a full offseason with, a full training camp with, he's going to have that trust there. A Randall Cobb, who he's going to have an offseason with and entering into, he knows what he brings.
We had that with Cole Beasley.
But there is a level of trust that you have in year 4 with some solid guys around you that you know have been proven to get it done. You've seen them get it done. He's going to have a better year, I think, getting rid of the ball.
Well, what about him? What about them? Him getting it done. You talking about he going to have confidence in them, or are they going to have confidence in him?
Well, what do I have to keep reminding you of? That over the first 3 years, he set the all-time record of completion percentage? Does that work?
He did get it back. Greg and I couldn't play with him because all he's doing is throwing check downs.
You don't have confidence in a guy who over the last 3 years led the entire National Football League in fourth quarter comebacks? Really?
Skip,
what more do you want?
I'm not gonna,
I don't know. He just keeps doing it, and I keep saying, see?
Skip,
and you say, oh, but he's not that. Well, I can't.
How about this here? I cannot give you a medal for saving my life if it's you that's holding my head underwater. That was the reason they were behind. So he comes from behind. He brings them back to victory. And don't you see what Dak did? Yeah, I saw those 3 interceptions he threw in the first half, too, that put us in this situation.
You know, you remind me of my favorite proverb. It's Proverb 23:9. Do you know this one? I went to church yesterday. I'm not sure if you did, but I don't know. But do not speak within the hearing of a fool, because he will despise the wisdom of your words.
Yes.
I'm not calling you a fool, but I'm calling you foolish on this one, because I keep speaking wisdom.
No, it's not.
And you despise the wisdom of my words, right?
No. I'm just trying to tell you, Skip. You don't, Greg. How does a guy throw 3 interceptions in the first half? We're down 14. He brings us back, and now he's the hero. We should have never been down to begin with.
That's just the nature of the game. Guys have bad plays, and they overcome it. That's called resilience.
That's called Tebow-ism.
Shannon, I'm
Tebow
with you.
Well, wait a second.
I've rolled Dak a lot.
He beat your quarterback twice last year. Beat him twice. And the second
he wasn't healthy.
The second time he threw for 243 in the fourth quarter and overtime. How do you do that if you can't throw? How do you do it? I don't know. I want to know.
Tebow threw for 316 in a playoff game.
Not comparing
so you just said that Dak Prescott is Tim Tebow.
Hold on.
No, I'm not going to let him say that.
Hold on, time out. Who has more playoff wins, Tim Tebow or Dak Prescott? I don't even know why I brought that up, Greg.
Who has more playoff games?
I don't know, no game.
How about playoff games?
You played all these games, ain't winning nothing.
Well, he's only been in the league for 3 years. And
Tebow was in the league for 2 years.
Okay, 3 years, 3 playoff games.
Tim Tebow, like you tell me, Tim Tebow won the division.
Well, how many, wait, help me out here. How many playoff snaps has Carson Wentz taken? Snaps.
How
about big 0?
He was hurt.
You trust him?
The locker room trust him? One of the biggest offseason moves this year is the Eagles and a healthy return of Carson Wentz. Now, watch what I said.
Do you realize he's got the weight of Eagle Nation on his shoulder pads? The first bad game he has, especially at home, they're going to boo him off the field because they're going to be saying, we had Nick Foles.
Do you know how tough you got to be to grow up with those harsh winters in North Dakota and to go out there hunting barefooted?
Shoot those poor birds.
There you go. He ain't no bird. You trying to get Pete on it.
You got to find something to do.
Greg
and I know
I can't believe
Minnesota.
Hold on. You ain't say nothing about the wolf hunter shooting the poor little innocent wolves.
Well, at least they're wolves.
What you mean?
At least they're a threat
They're federally protected.
Mankind.
They were federally protected.
Get them straight on the Cowboys, Skip. Get them straight on the Cowboys.
Come on.
Okay, they're wrong.
This is the takeaway. This is the bottom line.
Okay.
They won the division and they got better. They're adding 2 offensive linemen. One's a Pro Bowler, Travis Frederick, and Jason Witten is a Pro Bowl caliber blocker. Yeah. Seriously. all of a sudden their running game will escalate.
Vegas took all that into consideration when they said 9. They should be better. But we're talking about the Cowboys, Greg. They won't be.
I understand that.
Okay, Greg.
Greg didn't want to deliver you back. Greg just got back, and he's like, he told me I'll stay. He said, I can't deliver Skip bad news.
Oh,
I said, Greg, come on, Greg.
Don't make up stuff around here, Shannon. I won't have it. Good to have you back with us, Greg. Absolutely. Always appreciate it. So, was Duke's loss actually good for college basketball? We'll see what these guys say about that.
Good for me.
Next. Yeah. No mercy. Michigan State upset Duke yesterday 68-67 to advance to the Final Four. 4 of Duke's starting lineup features freshmen that are likely to go into this year's NBA draft. Spartan alum Magic Johnson was at the game and put some perspective on the veteran Michigan State team winning yesterday. Magic said this: college basketball won today. You see the team that's been together for a long time win, and maybe that will help guys to say, well, I'm okay to stay. Maybe I've got to work on my talent and my game, because Michigan State has got a team full of those guys, and they did okay today. Skip.
Yes.
Do you agree?
I do not agree, and I read these quotes very early this morning when I was on the treadmill, and I must admit I had to grab both the guardrails. I did, because I almost fell off the treadmill. That Magic Johnson said this about that. I realized he was feeling the post-game euphoria. His alma mater had eliminated the prohibitive favorite, and they're bound for Minneapolis in the Final Four. I get all that, but to say that college basketball won, no, Magic. Michigan State won. College basketball lost monumentally because there is no Zion in Minneapolis.
Correct.
Ratings will plummet because there's no Zion. The staunchest college basketball fan who wants players to stay for 5 years and be student athletes to the core. Even those fans are going to miss Zion in Minneapolis. I'm sorry. He was it. He was the most star-powered player we've seen. I don't know. I got to go all the way back to Ewing, Olajuwon days. You know, maybe back to Magic Bird. Yeah, come on. And yet, Magic has completely divorced himself from being the superstar player that he was now, that he's not even defending this system anymore, where he's saying, maybe this will strike a blow for players to stay longer and work on their talent and their games.
What?
Really? What? I know you're management now, but come on, Magic Johnson. He did stay for 2 years at Michigan State, but come on. Magic said this. He knows, because he'd be the first to say, talented kids should be one and done.
Yes.
I think in his heart of hearts, that's
or high school and done.
High school and done. He would say that. He would say high school and done. So I'm not even sure who this guy was talking last night, except that he was feeling green with euphoria. That's all I can figure out.
Yep, I agree 1,000% with you. And I was wondering where you guys were like, Skip, go agree with Magic? And I totally, wholeheartedly agree with Magic Johnson. Skip, Michigan State would have a lot of one and dones if they were good enough to be one and done. It's not fair, Skip. It's not fair to root against kids that have no other choice but to go to college for the 1 year. If Zion could have, if R.J. Barrett could have, if Cam Reddish could have, Skip, I believe they would have foregone their college eligibility and go straight to the NBA.
Agreed.
You're right.
Magic, come on, Magic. You know how this works. So let me get this straight. Magic Johnson, you got tired of making money for everybody else, so you went into business so you could make money for you. College kid says, hold on, I can go to college, make money for a university, or I can go to the NBA and make money for me. Now, which one you think I'm going to choose? Now, if I got to choose to go to college, yes, Skip, I would like to win a title. Because if I'm here, it's kind of like me when I went to go to Savannah State. I'm like, hey, I stayed 4 years. I might as well work towards my degree and graduate.
Okay.
So if I got to go to college, Skip, yes. In my 1 year, I would love to win a national championship. But given the choice to go to the NBA or go to college and try to win a title, what do you think 99% of the guys going to do, Skip? Because guess what? You know this, Skip. Every player that plays a college sport believe they're good enough to play professional.
100%.
They do.
So I'm gonna go to Michigan State. I'm gonna stay 3-4 years because, man, I'm trying to win that title. Skip, I'm trying to win that title. Man, I wish I might. I'm trying to go get the money because it's structured. You only gonna make X amount of money off your rookie contract. How soon can I get to $200 million? After your 4th year, you make an all-star team, Skip. You make an all-NBA team. That's $250. And you're 22. Or I can be 21 playing for a national championship.
It's
Man, Magic,
not even.
Magic, you need to be ashamed with yourself.
He does.
Like you said, Skip, all the euphoria. Because I know Magic thought they could, but he's like, I don't know, we get to beat those Zion.
He loved this. I don't know if he believed.
Yeah. Okay, you won, and I get that. It's great for your school that you got these upperclassmen, but I guarantee you, if these guys, if Cassius Winston and Tillman and Kenny Goins, if they had Zion Williams' talent, there's no way Kenny Goins is a redshirt senior.
He's a redshirt senior.
No way.
Years.
So come on, Magic. Now I get it. Okay. You're happy for your team, but
as a Laker employee now, as a talent evaluator, as a man who must select draft picks, you brought up Cam Reddish in our A block today, saying, "Well, what is he?" You know, that whole idea. Well, I'm not sure either. And maybe if Cam would come back for a second year, would it make it easier on Magic and other GMs to pick?
It helps them evaluate. It gives them more of an opportunity to pick you apart. Because now if they come straight out of high school, all you've seen with them were against high school players. So the longer you stay, Skip, that's all it does, is it gives them an opportunity to really pick your butt apart. As opposed to being one and done, and then now you got to evaluate, okay, I don't know. Because remember, the last senior to go #1 overall is our Kenyon Martin. In 1999, Skip, that's 20 years ago.
The last senior.
So these guys like, I'm not finna stay because all you're gonna do is pick me apart. I played good my freshman year, and then all of a sudden, well, he doesn't seem to get any better. They pick Buddy Hale apart. What, if you're a senior, if you're that good, why did you come out earlier?
Agreed.
No, sir. I'm going to get that bread quick.
Okay, I agree. Is it possible, though, that Tom Izzo chooses like 4-star or 3-star recruits because he feels like you might be able to keep them if they're good enough to win a championship for you, as long as you could keep them for 3 or 4 years? He probably does that.
I guarantee you, he probably showed up at Zion Williamson's door.
Okay.
And if he could, Skip,
if he could have gotten him,
if I could get him to go, because here's the thing. Remember Coach K? All these coaches used to stare, I can't believe Calipari. All he's doing is getting a one-and-done guy. He's like, hold on. He's going to Final Four every year. He compete for the national championship.
He very nearly went to the Final Four this year.
So you mean to tell me if that's the way it is, Coach K said, I'm going to play that game too.
Yep.
But now no one-and-done prospects in this Final Four. 0.
That's unbelievable.
0.
So what did that tell you? I get it, Skip. But let me ask you a question. Of all these, the Texas Tech, the Auburn, the Michigan State, and who's the other team?
Are you serious?
Who'd you say?
Did you say Texas
Tech? Texas Tech,
Auburn,
Virginia.
Virginia,
if any of those guys had the talent of R.J. Barrett or Zion Williamson, do you think they would still be in college, Skip, as a sophomore or junior?
No. If Tom Izzo could have recruited Magic Johnson, would he have recruited him? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Look, why did Magic leave? Magic could have won or lost that title. Magic was gone. Magic was going to be the #1 overall pick regardless. He wasn't staying to try to, if he'd had lost the Bird, Indiana State team, he wasn't going to stay to try to win another one.
No.
Who cares? Like I said, if I'm there, Skip, I'm going to try to win it. But, man, look here. I'm going to college because I had a layover. That's not my destination. I'm trying to get to the NBA, but you guys forced me to lay over here in college. So I'll stay. And if I'm here, I'm in the airport, I'm going to walk around. I go to the gift shop, and I look around, Skip is duty-free, so I can buy some alcohol and bring it back with me. Don't have to pay no taxes on it or something.
You're obsessed
I don't know
with
where
alcohol.
you went there.
I'm just saying, I'm
found
just
a way.
duty-free, You see that LeBron? LeBron got him a nice little tequila. I'm going to bring you a bag.
Is that his brand now?
That's going to be his brand.
Really?
Yeah, he already told me to go send me some.
So he's going Conor McGregor with
Oh,
his
my
proper
goodness.
12?
Hey, speaking of maybe sticking around too long, could the Giants really keep Eli Manning for 2 more years? We'll discuss next.
No mercy.
So it appears the Eli Manning era in New York is far from over. Eli is 38 years old, but the Giants made it clear he'll be back next season. Now SNY says New York, quote, won't hesitate to extend Manning's contract by a year, which will put him on the roster through 2020 because they want him to be an influence on their next franchise quarterback. The Giants have the 6th pick in the draft. So Shannon, what are the Giants doing? Tell us.
Skip, why don't you tell me what they're doing so you and I both know? First of all, why are you talking about 2020? Shouldn't you be worried about 2019? So what's more important, influence or winning? because you're not winning with Eli. You want him to influence the next quarterback. Really? Skip, after this season, Eli Manning will have made more money than any other NFL player in the 100-year history of the NFL.
Okay.
$250 million. He would have passed his brother, who made $248.7. I don't think anybody can argue. Say, man, Peyton Manning was overpaid. Whoo, he stole. Eli Manning, they need to stop playing. Dave Gettleman, I'm beginning to wonder about you. I think you bumped your head or something. Because there's no way that you actually think Eli Manning is going to get you to take you where you want to go at this ripe old age. Skip, he's been to the playoff one time in a decade. Athletes don't get exponentially better as they age. Tom Brady, now, I would like, hold on, what's going on with Tom? If Tom was playing like he's played the last 5 years, but he had a lull of a 10-year span where he wasn't playing well, and I'm like, well, what is going on?
Yep.
Eli hadn't played well in a decade.
Not well enough, I would agree.
For what you've asked, because remember, Skip, the standard is he's a Super Bowl winning quarterback, an MVP. Has he played like that?
Nope.
I just don't know what the Giants are hoping for. Influence. Man, I'm trying to win games. I'm trying to get no influence.
So even as a Cowboy fan, I must admit publicly, I feel sorry for the Giants because they are stuck. And one reason he's making this case for Eli could be for 2 years because I don't see an out. I don't see the exit strategy from Eli. I don't see an obvious answer anywhere. Could they trade for Josh Rosen? Is he the answer? I'm going to say no. Is Dwayne Haskins the answer at 6? I'm going to say no. Was Sam Darnold the answer a year ago instead of Saquon? It's still to be determined, but I'm not sure about it. I'm not totally sold on that. Is Drew Lock the answer? They got another pick at 17. No. Is Daniel Jones the answer? I'm going to say no. You know how much I like Will Grier as the second best quarterback to Kyler in this draft. But would they take a flyer on that? I don't know. That's what I would do. But otherwise, you are stuck. And to his, again, just being objective about this, if you look at Eli down the stretch, he wasn't bad. He just wasn't great.
Right.
But I can show you games. They went and won at Washington. He threw for 3 touchdowns and no interceptions. They went and won at San Francisco. He threw for 3 touchdowns and no interceptions. They beat the Bucs at home. He went 17 of 18 for 231. This is in December. And then they went up to Indy when Indy was hot. Eli went 25 of 33 for 309, a touchdown and 1 pick, and he had a QBR of 93. That's a pretty big-time game right there. So, Gettleman, you put the tape in and you watch it and you say, well, he's just okay.
Yeah, but Skip, normally those games, they're not in contention.
No.
So they're so far behind, nobody will give you those new stats.
I agree.
And that's the thing. They're wasting Saquon.
Yeah.
They're going to put 500 carries because he's gonna catch 100 passes.
He is.
And then he's going to run.
Eli had his career-high completion percentage, 66%, because he's going dink, dunk.
Right.
Saquon.
So he's going to throw Saquon 100.
Yeah.
He's going to hand it to him 300. So that's 400 touches. So he's going to do 2-3 years of that. And by the time a young quarterback, he's not going to have a running game. Because they done wasted up Saquon with Eli, who's washed.
Okay, do you take the best players available at 6 and 17, and then you wait for Tua next year?
Skip.
You waiting for? Are you going to get Tua? You're going to be able to get him?
Move. It's okay.
Yeah.
Skip. It's okay to end a relationship, although you don't have somebody in mind to replace. It's better than to do that and stay in a bad relationship. This is a bad relationship.
Good analogy.
Yeah.
Makes sense, though.
You know,
So you're just going to sit by yourself in the apartment now?
I stay right over there.
Whole year?
Me and my boys, we stay right over there. But you know, I might have somebody in mind.
Oh, okay.
Wonder who that could be.
Man, don't worry about all that. Don't worry about all that. See, there you go.
I could guess.
No, you don't need to be guessing.
Yeah, I could guess. I'm not guessing about Eli.
No.
All I know is he's led this league in interceptions not once or twice, but 3 times. That's all you need to know.
You love this because he's in your division.
I know.
And that's an easy 2 wins.
2 dubs.
Yes.
Easy nights at Shannon's restaurant.
But you said you feel bad for those
I do.
fans.
No, I do because I know a bunch of Giant fans.
Yeah.
And they're good people. They are. What have I always told you about the rivalry with the Giants? I respect that team.
You do.
I have respectful rivalry with Washington. I got no use for Philly.
Well, ever since Buddy wanted to put a bounty on your kicker.
It went way before that. Way before that it started. I just don't like the Eagles.
Yeah, well, we don't
like them. But again, it's easy for me to feel sorry for the Giants because, trust me, they are stuck.
2 years feels like a long time.
Hold on. Okay, well, give my case a do back off the games that I lost. Since you feel so sorry for them, you took 4 cases of due from me last year because the Giants lost both games. So give them back.
But we didn't bet on those games.
Yes, we did.
We didn't bet exactly on those games.
This season.
We did.
I'll bet next year. I'll bet a case on each game. I'll take Dallas.
Okay, we're going to Boogie Cousins. Did he deserve to get tossed last night? We will show you the video. You'll decide. They'll decide next.
No mercy.
Time for our final topic of the day. DeMarcus Cousins was ejected from the Warriors' win last night for hitting Hornets center Willie Hernan-Gomez in the head. Boogie got a flagrant 2 for the play, and it's the 15th time he's been ejected in his career. So, Shannon, did Boogie deserve the ejection?
Yeah, Skip, he's been lost the benefit of the doubt. As a matter of fact, the Warriors losing the benefit of the doubt because all they do is complain about everything. But, Skip, given Boogie's history, you hit the man in the head. I get it, because I read his lip. You mean to tell me I'm getting a flagrant for the box out? Yeah, no, for the box upside the head. That's what you get the flagrant for, not the box out, the box up.
So I tried to think, is this part reputation where he just earned this ejection? And I got to tell you, I just put it in a vacuum, just in and of itself. He just decked Hernan-Gomez.
Yeah.
First he elbows him, and then he just gets frustrated, and he just knocks him down. And fortunately, Hernan-Gomez, he took a couple of shots to the face.
Right.
I'm sure he's not real happy this morning about it, but the point is that it's always something with DeMarcus Cousins. And now you've added his volatility on top of KD's and Draymond's, and they just go up in smoke, man. I mean, and then he was outraged he got ejected. I'm thinking, what? I'm almost amused that you're outraged.
Right.
Like,
you hit the guy in the head.
Yeah.
Anything to the head or shoulder area is automatic ejection, Skip. I mean, what? I mean, come on, Boogie.
It's pretty dramatic.
Then they went off that.
And he shot, and he was like, for a box out?
For a box out?
Yeah, it wasn't quite that.
No.
There was a little more. That is it for us. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 9:30 Eastern. Right now, Doug tells you why Zion and Coach K had no chance to win a title. The herd starts right now.
No mercy.
Thanks for listening to the Undisputed podcast. I'm Jenny Taft. Join us again at the same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports 1 of 1.